After a heartbreaking loss last week to the Smithson Valley Rangers, the Canyon Cougars must regroup and reset their goals for the last 2 weeks of the high school football season. Tonight, the Cougars travel to the southeast outskirts of San Antonio to face the East Central Hornets, a team that has gone winless in district play since joining District 27-6A a year ago, a trend the Cougars are more than happy to help keep alive. It's the Canyon Cougars and the East Central Hornets coming up next exclusively on the Cougars Network. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hornet Stadium on the campus of East Central High School in San Antonio, Texas. I am Ben Campos, joined by my broadcast partner this evening, Roland Ruiz. The Governor, Austin Milam, our spotter, statistician, and executive producer is Bo Wick. And Roland, I mentioned this in the opening, a tough loss for the Canyon Cougars last week to the rival Smithson Valley in the Comal Bowl, 14-9. The Cougars had a chance to get the win. Really, Roland, when you're playing your rival, that's all you ask for is a chance. The Cougars had it. Interception on one of the last plays of the game sealed their fate. And this is a very good Canyon football team, Roland, perhaps better, certainly better than the 1-4 district mark.
You know, I got to tell you, we always say there's really no such thing as a moral victory, but to hold a high explosive offense like the Smithson Valley Rangers to 14 points. I mean, I remember last week, I wasn't here on the broadcast, unfortunately, but I kept tabs on the score, and I saw that halftime score of 14-6. So the Cougars are here to play some football, and we've seen that all season. I mean, they've been in most of the games that they've played, but to hold Smithson Valley, perennially a powerhouse, to only 2 touchdowns, I think that's their second lowest offensive output of the season.
Smithson Valley had scored 10 in a loss the previous week to the Clemens Buffalo, so it was a good job by the Cougar defense to hold them to just 14 points. And Roland, on the other side, the other side of the football, offensively, the Cougars struggled a little bit, but if you're in a game, it's a rivalry game, and your offense is struggling, you have to look to other places to find points, and Canyon found that last week in the special teams area.
Special teams had a big game. Also understand a couple of big plays on defense to put some points on the board for the Cougars last week.
You had Eric Taylor, the defensive end, come off the edge and block a punt for Smithson Valley and recover that in the end zone. That was the lone touchdown for Canyon, and although the extra point was missed, you then had Jacob Martinez, the kicker, come out and nail a 42-yard field goal, and that's how you get the 9 points. So the defense is playing well. The offense has played well at times. They're definitely keeping the team into the ball game, but when one phase of the game is lacking, you have the other two to lift them up, and that really is total team football, and we're seeing it towards the end of the year with Canyon.
And Eric Taylor, you knew he was going to have his day in the end zone. So, I mean, it was just a matter of time. Of course, it came against one of the powerhouses in the district, and I'm sure he couldn't have been happier. I talked to head coach Joe Muchagamba a little bit before the game. We were visiting a bit, and I said, I know it was just a moral victory, but it had to have been, kind of exciting to hold them at that point. He said everything was great right up until the final score. So.
Well, if you followed that, and you could actually find that broadcast on our sister station, the Rangers Network, follow that one, you'll see Canyon pulled out all the stops, even a fake punt by, we mentioned Jacob Martinez earlier, throwing the ball and completing a pass on a fake punt to keep a drive alive. Just ultimately didn't happen as Xavier Perez threw an interception in the end zone with a chance to win with just seconds on the scoreboard. But Roland, this Cougar defense, as we talk about mainly that defensive side of the ball, we mentioned Eric Taylor in the game. He had 2 tackles for a loss as well. Tackle of the loss was the stat that really came out to me. 7 tackles for losses against a very good Smithson Valley team.
And tip of the cap to that Cougar defense, Zach Fansteel, 5 tackles, 5 solo tackles last week, along with, I wish I could have a team up, Fabian Facundo with 5 tackles as well. So, and not only that, I caught a couple of very important passes offensively.
Yeah. And he will actually represent Canyon High School in the San Antonio area All-Star game, and it is really a deserved honor.
Absolutely.
For Fabian Facundo. Offensively, we mentioned that the team, that side of the ball, struggled a little bit for Canyon, but we must highlight one of the bright spots, and a young bright spot at that. I mean, you're mentioning the quarterback, Xavier Perez, only a junior. How about the young sophomore, Callan Farr? It's been fun to watch him develop, fun to watch him contribute to this offense throughout the year.
Callan Farr, 8 catches last week, 81 yards on the game. He certainly has been a go-to target for quarterback Xavier Perez.
He's Roland Ruiz. I'm Ben Campos alongside Austin Milam, the governor, our spotter statistician. Glad to be with you on the first Friday in November. Earlier in the week, Brant Freeman had a chance to sit down with Cougar head coach Joe Muchagimba, get his thoughts about tonight's ballgame versus the East Central Hornets. We're going to step aside here on the Cougars Network. When we come back, Brant's conversation with Joe Muchagimba. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.
Well, I don't think so.
It's a good deal, right?
Coach, this is a 2538, 37 horsepower, most lift capacity of any tractor in its class, and no depth fluid.
Well, the best part is it's the right color.
Welcome back to the studios of Cougar Football with Joe Muchagimba. That's Coach Mooch. Again, I'm your host, Brant Freeman. Coming up on Friday, Canyon on the road taking on East Central. The Hornets have had a tough year this year. They're 0-8, 0-5 so far in 27-6A play. But, Coach, as it is the case with a lot of teams, the record like that, it doesn't tell the whole story.
No, it certainly doesn't. Coach Hubbard over there doing a good job. You know, they don't have much to show for it. But they're playing pretty well defensively, and offensively the same. They got some guys that can, you know, light up the scoreboard pretty quick. So we'll have to go into it. Obviously, what do we do different? Nothing. You know, we go in there and prepare like we're going to play anybody else, and we'll get out there Friday night and you'll see what happens.
You mentioned the play of the offense. In district play, the Hornets have struggled, but there was a game in non-district this year they put up 43 against Victoria East, so we know what they're capable of. What do the Hornets like to do on offense?
Well, they like to run the football. You know, I mean, everybody says we're going to run the ball, but that's kind of what they want to do. They've kind of changed modes in the last couple of weeks, transitioned from one offense to another, and you know, I think they're trying to settle in and trying to find something, you know, something to work for them. So we'll have to prepare for a couple different looks, a couple different schemes, and much the same for our offense. You know, they're in a 4-down defense, and they'll get an odd front also. So we've got our work cut out for us as far as preparation goes for the ball game on Friday.
Yeah, you look at the defense for East Central, and again, they've had a tough time so far this season. Some of that a product of who they've already played. No, you look at district, they've already played Steele and Judson and New Braunfels and Clemens and Smithson Valley, and they've given up over 50 points per game in district. How do you take advantage of what shortcomings they might have?
Well, you know, you get in there and watch the film and see if you can find some weaknesses in there and try to attack them. You know, try to scheme towards those things, and then really you continue to try to make yourself better. You know, take care of some things that maybe weren't real good last Friday night, technique, plays, play calls, and you know, just kind of roll it all in there together. We're not really playing East Central. I know we are. That sounds crazy. We're playing against a level of, you know, excellence, if you will, trying to get the Canyon Cougars ready to go.
And again, I know, Coach, you're coming off a tough loss from this past Friday. It's been kind of a tough season at times for you. Just how big would a win be for this program on Friday?
Well, you know, I'd like to see us win a football game for our kids. You know, they've stuck with it, and they've played, and they've fought, and they show up every day, and they come to work, and you know, everybody does, right? But it'd be really nice to get out there and get on that bus on the way home with the win under our belt.
Well, Coach, best of luck against the Hornets.
Thank you, Brent.
When is shoe shopping more than just shoe shopping? When it's shoe shopping for a cure. Shop QVC presents Shoes on Sale. You'll find beautiful shoes by top designers, all at 50% off. And every purchase benefits breast cancer research and education. Great shoes for a great cause. What's not to love? Tune in Thursday, October 12th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Shop all October long at QVC.com.
Pre-game coverage continuing from Hornet Stadium here on the Cougars Network. Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you alongside the Washington Bear, Austin Milam. And Roland, let's talk about our opponent tonight, the East Central Hornets. It's a team that you have to go back to 2015 to find their last district win. That was back when the Hornets were in District 28-6A. It included teams like South San and Southwest here on the south side of San Antonio, but also they stretched that district to include 3 teams from Corpus Christi. So as the Hornets might have complained about the travel time associated with playing a district in Corpus Christi, the UIL gives them something more to complain about, and that's stuck with teams from Converse and Church Cibolo and, of course, the Comal County teams. For the last whatever it's been in District 27-6A, they have been winless since joining this district.
Yeah, tough go for East Central, and as we were mentioning, you were mentioning before the break there, still looking for their first district win. Been in a couple of things, almost pulled one out against one of the Victoria high schools a little bit earlier this season. But it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's one of those situations where you really don't want to take somebody lightly, because the minute you start doing that is the minute they're going to, jump up and bite you. And we were talking a little bit about their offense and what we're going to see offensively from them, and really kind of at a somewhat of a guessing game of what's going to happen. It could be that they will start at quarterback with sophomore Charles Oglesby. 41 catches on the year he has thrown for a total of 490 yards.
We'll also maybe see Austin Traynor, who's a junior, or Blake Casey, the senior. So who knows what we'll see coming out. We might have a starter. We might have 3 different quarterbacks play throughout the game. We'll just kind of cross that bridge when we get there. But it is an offense, Roland, as you mentioned, that has struggled. The one game that they were in all year, a loss on the road to Victoria East. That one was 44-43. But since then, going into district play, this Hornet team has been shut out 3 different occasions. They lost to Clemens 35-0, followed that to a loss to the Rangers 54-0. Went into the bye and then had to face Judson on the other side of it and lost that game 69-0. So in all the games played in district, they put up 7 points versus New Braunfels and 14 versus Steele. So here we are, Roland, transitioning into week 10 of the high school football season, and an offense still struggling to find their identity.
A couple of players to watch offensively there, Ben, for East Central. Will be their running backs. This is, of course, if they get the call. Both of them juniors. Michael Stevens, who's carried the ball 36 times thus far on the season for about a little over 200 yards. And also a junior running back, Frank Lott, who's carried the ball 63 times for 153 yards. Receiving the football, they've got a couple. Well, they've got actually a senior and a junior who lead the team in receptions. The senior is Blade Strelchek. He's hauled in 11 for 184 yards, and junior Adrian Zapata, 15 catches for 166 yards thus far on the season. So some players that the Cougar defense is going to have to key on and trying to stop production on this evening.
An opportunity for Canyon tonight to claim their second win in district. We'll set the tone of what's going on around district and take a look at the district standings as well as we get in further into our pregame coverage. Right now, both teams are on the sideline as the ROTC cadets from East Central High School will present the colors, and we'll have the playing of the national anthem. We'll step aside here on pregame coverage. When we come back, kick off tonight's ball game between the Canyon Cougars and the East Central Hornets. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
In college football, you don't have the luxury of looking ahead. Every Saturday's a different way of destroying your season. They'll make the ground shake. They'll make your eyes burn. They'll show you hate and disrespect unlike anything you've ever seen. Don't think about January when there's a Wolverine coming for your face in September. The biggest game, the only game, is the one you're playing.
Do you know what's perfect? Wick Productions teaming up with the Canyon Cougars. No kidding. We take pause when we hear you cheer for replays on the scoreboard. And we love the feline we get when you visit CougarsNetwork.com. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Meow. Isn't that right? What? Cat got your tongue? I mew it.
You ever play Tetris as a kid?
Yes, I did.
Watch out.
I couldn't find a chain for you guys, but I got my necklace from the car.
It's starting to feel like a home. Welcome to your new house.
Oh my gosh.
I cannot believe they turned that into a house.
Watch FYI, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 132. GVTC, just plain smart.
And welcome back to Hornets Stadium. Cougars and the Hornets are moments away from kickoff. Roland, we mentioned this a little bit in pregame coverage. It's kind of Judgment Day, as if you will, in District 27 6A. At the top, you have the Judson Rockets at 5-0, followed by two 4-1 teams clogging up the second and third place spots. That is Clemens and Smithson Valley. And then where it gets really interesting is who's fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot in this district, and you have Steele and New Braunfels both at 3-2. Now, take a look at what's going on around district. You have the undefeated Judson Rockets taking on Smithson Valley. Either we're going to have three teams at 5-1 on the other side of tonight, or Smithson Valley will join the ranks of those that will be at 4-2. Another big game is Clemens at New Braunfels. Kind of same scenario. Clemens could drop down to 4-2, or the New Braunfels Unicorns can elevate themselves to 4-2, and then you have the Wadner Thunderbirds taking on the Steel Knights. Judgment Day, if you will, in district tonight, Roland.
Amen. Big night in district. And just to let you know, we'll keep you updated on scores as we get them in and try to keep you as updated and to the moment as humanly possible here from our broadcast position.
It is artificial matrix turf here at Hornet Stadium. You have the Hornet logo at midfield. The end zones are black with Hornets in gold letters to the south end zone and East Central in gold letters to the north. The Cougars in their road jerseys, red pants, white jersey, red numbers, white helmet with the red interlocking CC on either side. The Hornets in their home jerseys, it's black pants, black jersey, gold numbers, black helmet with the gold bar down the middle and their logo on either side. Jacob Martinez has the ball teed up for the Cougars. They'll be kicking left to right. And in deep receiving for East Central is a number 7, Austin Trainer. As Martinez puts his right foot into it, it's a high end-over-end kick that's taken at the 8-yard line on the near sideline. Coming up across the 25, spins out of the tackle, is the return man Jordan Perry. Gets close to the 30-yard line, and East Central will have the ball there, 1st and 10. Roland still waiting to see who will get the first look tonight offensively as a quarterback for East Central. Again, it's either going to be the sophomore Charles Oglesby, the junior Austin Trainer, or the senior Blake Casey.
And they keep it a mystery right up to the last minute, don't they?
They're all
Here we go.
They're all in the huddle as they break it from the far sideline, and coming in under center will be Charles Oglesby, the sophomore, at 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's a big one. Two receivers either way. Ball will come from the near hash at the 28-yard line. Snap back to Oglesby. Play action pass over the middle. In and out of the hands of the tight end, Tanner McKay, as number 13, Zach Fansteel in, applying initial pressure.
I'd say he would have caught that. He was going nowhere. Fansteel all over him. That's some good tight coverage by the young man.
Incomplete pass sets up 2nd down and 10 on the opening possession of the ball game for East Central. Three receivers to the far sideline. The man in the back is number 32, Frank Latt. Settles down to the left of Oglesby. High snap, handoff to Latt, who lowers his shoulder as he's met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward across the 30 to the 31. It'll be a gain of 2.
In order to make the tackle, that appeared to be Cole Seeley, the junior linebacker.
Third down opportunity on the opening possession for this Cougar defense to get off the field. It is 2nd down and 8 from the 31-yard line. Handoff back to Oglesby, hands off to Latt, coming to the near side, and there's 5 or 6 Cougars there to stuff them. Nothing doing to the 30-yard line. It's going to be a loss.
Oh, swarming defense that time. Dallin Watanabe among the swarm in there to make the stop on Frank Latt.
They'll give Latt forward progress to the 31, so officially no gain. As the punter will get back there. That is Blade Sturkelcheck, the 5'10", 160-pound senior. Sturkelcheck standing at his own 19-yard line, and deep receiving for Canyon is Isaiah Rivera. Just underway here in this ball game. The Cougar defense has forced a 3-and-out. Snap is low. Sturkelcheck gathers it, rolls to the right, rugby style. It's end-over-end kick, and Rivera bobbles it and is able to fall on it to retain possession, so no harm done there. The Cougars will get the ball offensively, 1st and 10 from the 36.
Little nervous, is like falling on that football. Isaiah falling on the football.
That's a dangerous job when they kick kind of a knuckleball at you and it bounces 10 yards in front of you. You never know which way it's going to bounce. And the return man's just trying to make sure that they minimize any type of yardages there. After a 33-yard punt, you want to minimize that from becoming, 40. This is our first look at Xavier Perez, 5'11", 185-pound junior quarterback, completing 53% of his passes with a 3-to-2 touchdown interception ratio. Has Seth Haney to the left of him, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the near side. Ball on the far hash as there's jump and movement from the East Central defensive line. The Cougars hold their water and get a new play from the sideline. Haney switches from the left to the right, and there is a flag here on the opening play. It'll be delay of game, I believe, against Canyon.
One thing I noticed last week, penalty-wise, I believe Canyon only with 2 penalties in the game last week. So they've certainly cut down on the miscues. They don't want to go back to the many miscues they had in this contest.
New line of scrimmage is at 31 on 1st and 15 for Perez. Takes the snap, fires down the middle of the field to the seam. That ball is intercepted by number 43, Sebastian Rodriguez, as there's a flag down at the 40-yard line. We'll see what it is. As it stands, it is an interception and would be East Central ball. Now, we are on the visiting press box, so we're on the other side of the field. The referee is going to turn his back to us and make a motion to the home press box, so we'll see what the indication is. So bear with us as this is coming down the pike, but it looks like it's going to be against East Central. Holding is the indication, yes, against the Hornets.
Holding.
So they'll mark 10 yards there. Roland, you were mentioning penalties, and it wasn't too much into the season, maybe 3rd or 2nd game. The Cougars were averaging 8 penalties a game.
Right.
And over time, they have been able to get that number down, now averaging 4 flags for only 35 yards a game. They've definitely shored up that end of the ballgame. Line of scrimmage now the 41 as Perez takes it. Quick shot to the near side. That's Callan Farr who gets a block. Turns upfield across the 45, dives towards midfield. It will be shy of that, but gets a Cougar first down.
Absolutely. Stop made that time by Jordan Garcia, the senior linebacker for East Central.
First down, so the Cougars up to the line with momentum. 1st and 10 from the 49. Fake the handoff to Haney. Pass to the near side again. It's Farr into Hornet territory now as he makes his way down to the 43-yard line.
I like it. He's going to Callan Farr quite a bit. I guess he certainly found his confidence with him in last week's performance. We mentioned 8 catches, 81 yards against the Smithson Valley Rangers.
Has 41 catches on the year to lead the team. Gain of 8 brings up 2nd down and 2. 9:40 left to go opening period in the opening possession for Canyon. No score. Defensively, they forced a Hornet 3-and-out. 2nd down and 2. Pump fake to the far sideline, goes up the seam, and that is caught by David Gonzalez, but Gonzalez is drilled. Not after he gets a first down, though. Hit applied by Mason Alvarado.
That was a big, big hit.
Credit to David Gonzalez, though. Just shakes it off, gets up, and it's a Cougar
held
first down.
on to the ball.
Most importantly there. First and 10. Near side pass is Facundo. Facundo trying to sip out of a tackle. It does, but falls forward. Will be across the 30, perhaps to the 28-yard line. Good gain on first down.
Patented Cougar offense, getting it done with quick, little, short passes, but moving the football.
Moving left to right from the near hash. Handoff to Haney, who goes up field and lowers his shoulder, gets to the 25-yard line. Our first look at Heth running the football tonight. Seth, check that.
It's a stop made by Jordan Shedrock, a senior defensive lineman for the Hornets.
Last week, Seth, 16 carries, 63 yards in that loss versus Smithson Valley that really wanted to force feed him and got some production out of him. Looking for a big gain tonight. On 3rd and 2 for Canyon from the 25-yard line. Fake it to Seth. Back to pass. Rolling to the right is Xavier, and Xavier's in trouble. He's going to be gobbled up and thrown down at the 27-yard line. Good pressure on the outside by, once again, Mason Alvarado.
Yeah, Keeson King, also junior linebacker, over to help put away Xavier Perez. And that'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Cougars.
It'll be a loss of 3, so 4th down and 5. The Cougars are going to stay out on the field. 4th down for Canyon. Perez, handoff, Haney, left side. I think he's got enough for a Cougar first down. Keeping his legs churning. He's going to be, the ball came out. The Hornets have it at the 20-yard line and coming to the far sideline. The Cougar offensive side on that far sideline reacted to it, and somehow that ball popped up. Number 56 comes out of the pile. That is Michael Brown, the sophomore linebacker. Roland, I would have thought that they would have stopped play for forward progress there.
Yeah, I guess the referees just didn't blow the whistle, but here again, Seth Haney taking Hornets with him. As we've seen so many times during the course of the season. Very powerful young running back.
Never want to tell a kid to stop what he's doing. You always want to play to a whistle, but had enough for a first down and coughed it up. So it'll be 1st and 10 going the other way for East Central at their own 24-yard line, now moving right to left. Oglesby, pass goes over the middle. That's in and out of the hands once again of McKay, and once again in coverage is Fanstein. Incomplete pass sets up 2nd down and 10.
I really hope Fanstein gets some postseason honors. That young man has had quite a season.
45 tackles, 4 tackles for losses. Be one of the leaders in that category. 2 receivers both sides for Oglesby as Latt settles into his left. Sends a man in motion. That Sturkle check. They'll fake it to him, and Oglesby will go up the middle. Makes a man miss at the 25 across the 30 before being tackled from behind by Josh Heiser, the 5'9", 215-pound senior defensive tackle.
Heiser wrapped him up. Cooper Holm came over to help him out as well from his defensive back position.
To the 34-yard line will be enough for a Hornet first down. 7.5 left to go in the first, no score. 3 receivers to the near sideline, Latt to the left of Oglesby. Handoff to Latt, who goes up the middle into the pile. Got to the 35-yard line, so minimum gain there.
Very stingy Cougar defense that time. Leading the charge was Josh Heiser from his defensive line position.
Latt, 14 carries for 28 yards last week versus Steele for the 5'10", 225-pound junior. Oglesby giving instructions to the offensive line as he has 3 receivers to the near side. Latt now to the right. They fake it to Latt, pulls the trigger down the far sideline. Pass is incomplete, intended for Jordan Perry. Overshot him, and in coverage, I believe, that's Cooper Holm.
Yeah, well, we see now why the sophomore has started so many games at quarterback. Certainly does have a rifle for a right arm. Just a question of discipline and hitting those receivers, easing that ball in there.
Sets up another 3rd down, 3rd and 9 for East Central. No score in this ball game. New running back in is D'Angelo Roseman. 2 receivers either way. Oglesby looking to pass on the far sideline. That ball is almost intercepted by Cooper Holm. A little bit of miscommunication between Oglesby and Perry, and Cooper jumped the route.
Oh, I thought Cooper had that one. Just out of his reach there that time. But good defensive coverage, good heads-up play by Cooper Holm.
Sturchill check will be in deep punt for East Central. Rivera will go into deep receiving for Canyon, standing at his own 29 on 4th and 9. Snap to Sturchill check, who rolls to the right, and Eric Taylor almost got a piece of that one. Rivera will take it on a bounce at the 32-yard line and comes upfield. Will be tackled by a wave of Hornets down to the 37-yard line. Another good start for field position for the Canyon offense.
You know, Ben, I got to tell you, it's just fun to watch Eric Taylor out there playing because he brings a whole different dimension. You just never know. It could happen at any moment on any opposing team's punt.
I'll tell you this. If I was a special teams coordinator and I see Eric Taylor, I'm not doing that rugby-style punt. I'll tell you that. You're inviting him to get closer and closer. First and 10 for Canyon from their own 37-yard line. Handoff is to Nathan Colbreth, who gets over to the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3. Nathan, 5'6", 150-pound junior, 5 carries for 14 yards last week versus Smithson Valley. Slap of the hands from Perez, fake it to Colbreth, come to Callan on the near sideline, who shakes out of a tackle, and another coming upfield across the 45, tackled from behind. There'll be a flag there for horse collar, and I believe Callan had enough for a first down anyway, so we'll just check to see what the official call is.
Oh, Callan Farr shaking off tacklers, found out where that first down marker was, and he wasn't going to be denied. Great yak there, yards after catch from Callan Farr. He's getting it done.
Well, I'll double your fun there, Roland. Yards after catch, yards after contact as well. That's the other yak, as Callan caught it in the backfield. Would have gone down for a loss the first time, would have gone down for a loss the second time, but he broke out of both of those. Got enough for a first down, and then you tack on the 15 yards for the horse collar. So this will move the ball into Hornet territory at the 37-yard line. From the near hash, 2 receivers to the far sideline, one to the near sideline receiver is Isaiah Scott. Colbreth to the left of Perez, gets the ball on a handoff, going to the left side, makes a man miss at the 35, gets a good block from Callan across the 30 to the 28, finally forced out of bounds by number 4, Avian Thompson.
He picked up 3 or 4 yards just on that Callan Farr block alone. I mean, that was heads up.
And that's stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, Roland. It's just nice to see the work done on the outside by the young sophomore. Second down and 2 after the gain of 8. Send a man in motion. That's Worley. Handoff to Colbreth, who's going to run behind Worley. Breaks an arm tackle at the 25 and then is met by a couple more Hornets across to the 24. It's enough for a Cougar first down.
Davian Johnson, a senior linebacker for East Central, making the stop that time on the Cougar running back.
Cougars taking their breath here. Fresh set of downs at the 24. 2 receivers to the far sideline on the outside. That's Lane Young. On the inside slot is Callan Farr. Snap back to Perez, design quarterback keeper, trying the left side, still on his feet, but he's gang tackled by 4 or 5 Hornets. They'll give him forward progress, maybe a yard to the 23.
Once again, Davian Johnson with the initial stop. He kind of held him back till the reinforcements from the defense got there to put the stop on Xavier.
Second down and 9 for Canyon. Ball now on the left hash. 4:40 left to go here in the opening period. No score. Canyon on their second possession. Ball set at the 23-yard line. 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Out of the gun, handoff is faked to Colbreth. Come on a little play action to Callan Farr, who makes another grab across the 20 to the 18, and called that name a lot so far in this ball game, Roland.
Absolutely, but you know, it looks like you can just set your watch to Callan Farr. He's getting it done.
Lane Young, the far side receiver to the left. Send a man in motion, Owen Worley from right to left. Slap of the hand from Xavier, now turning his head to the sideline to get a new play from Trenton Kirkland, the offensive coordinator. Colbreth now moves to the right of Perez, likes what he sees. Handoff is given to Colbreth, running left. Nice shimmy move at the 20, across the 10, 5, now into the end zone. Touchdown, Canyon.
That was some beautiful footwork that time by Nathan Colbreth. He was taking it to the outside, juked back to the inside, just kind of shifted his feet and his direction, and it opened up for him all the way into the end zone. Cougars on the scoreboard.
Martinez on to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Facundo. Kick on the way, and that kick is good. 3:44 left to go in the first quarter. Our score, Canyon 7, East Central 0. We'll step aside. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
3:44 left to go here in the first quarter, and the Canyon Cougars on the scoreboard. What a run from Nathan Culbreth. Starting out one way, cutting back another, and finding the hole in the defense, taking the ball into the end zone to put the Cougars on the scoreboard.
7-play drive, covers 63 yards, takes 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And you mentioned Nathan Culbreth from 18 yards. Perry in deep receiving for East Central, as Martinez will have a 8-yard charge into this one. Right foot into it, high, spiraling. Check that end-over-end kick, drives Perry back to the goal line. Cutting it up towards the middle of the field in the far sideline, breaks out of a tackle at the 25 and is hit hard at the 30. Tackle made on special teams, Cole Sealer. Good return either way for Perry, as East Central will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 31. Oglesby, the sophomore quarterback, back out on the field for East Central. Drive had some momentum last time out, but ultimately ended in a punt. 2 receivers, one to the left, one to the right. Handoff is to Latt, who tries the left side. The Cougars are there. Latt trying to power his way forward. Give credit to Zach Fansteel on the stop.
Absolutely. Coming over Antonio De Leon as well from his linebacker position to put the hit on the Hornet running back.
It'll be a gain of 5 out to the 36-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Staying in this formation with 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right. Oglesby with the snap. Again, it's Latt. Again, it's the left side. Again, he's carrying Cougars with him. Across the 4-yard line, it becomes a rugby scrum, and the referees will stop forward progress. Should be enough for a 1st down at the 41. And it is. Actually move the ball to the 42. So a gain of 6 there on 2nd down and 5. Good hard running by this junior running back, Frank Latt. Now to the right of Oglesby, who's out of the shotgun. Clap with his hands, gets it, handoff to Latt, now going to the right side, and the Cougars have stuffed the line. Nothing doing for Latt, as I see coming out of the pile, number 36, once again, Cole Sealer.
You know, as we were talking about pregame, one of the forces on offense for East Central, Latt there was 63 carries for 153 yards thus far on the season. One of the go-to guys to run that football for the Hornets.
2 big tackles for Cole Sealy on this possession. 2nd down and 9 after the gain of 1. 2 minutes, 15 seconds in the opening period. Canyon on top, 7-0. Fake it to Latt, come on a little curl out to the near side. Ball is caught by Adrian Zapata, who comes across the 50-yard line before being shoved out of bounds. Should have enough for a Hornet 1st down, and he does.
Zapata, 15 catches thus far on the season for 166 yards, one of the leading receivers on this East Central offensive squad.
1st and 10 for East Central, moving right to left. Ball in Cougar territory at the 47. Sending man in motion from left to right is Victor Casas. Hand the ball to the running back coming to the near side, and he's dropped for a loss. Josh Heiser is there to make a stop on D'Angelo Roseman.
Oh, Josh Heiser almost in the on the Hornets backfield that time. He was keying on that running back, did a great job reaching over to put the stop on him. Loss of 2 on the play.
Back to the 49. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Hornets. Eric Taylor showing blitz, and he comes with it. Amongst others, Oglesby. Pockets collapsing. He has nowhere to go. The Cougars are there to drop him back into Hornet territory. What a play defensively. Antonio DeLeon getting to the quarterback first.
He sure did. He just clogged up that hole, put the hit on him till the remainder of the defense could get over there to put the stop on the quarterback, Oglesby.
Ball back into Hornet territory at the 49. With 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. The running back is Christian Kaufman, who's to the right of Oglesby. On 3rd and 14, man in motion, Sturkle check. Here come the Cougars, and the screen's set up, and it'll go incomplete. The Cougars were there on a blitz. It was a perfectly called screen, but the Hornets just couldn't execute it, Roland.
A lot of pressure coming from that Cougar defense. He had to just get rid of the football. He just threw it into a crowd of people right there in the middle of the field, hoping one of them would be a Hornet receiver, turn around and make the catch.
Referees are discussing something here as there's 42 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ball spotted and respotted and spotted again at the Hornet 49, and this will be 4th down. I guess the conversation was whether or not that was a fumble, as some of the Cougars had jumped on it defensively, but it was definitely a forward pass on the screen. And then the conversation comes, is that even a man
eligible receiver?
Eligible receiver, or perhaps is that intentional grounding,
right,
as the Cougars were there. So they get everything squared away. It is 4th down and 14. The Hornets are in deep punt, but they have a weird formation here. 3 Hornets in the middle of the field and a host of them on the far sideline. I see 5. So this is a weird formation here. Sturkelcheck has it. He's going to run that way. They have a fake. Coming to the near side on a reverse is Roseman. Slips out of a tackle, and the Cougars are there at midfield to put Roseman down. Good awareness there situationally for the Cougars on special teams. The fake goes for naught, and Canyon will take over on down.
Now, how could you not see a formation like that, not realize they're going to probably fake the punt?
Well,
that's exactly what happened.
I question why do that in that scenario. It's 4th and 14. I get it. If you don't get the first down, you're not leaving Canyon with that great of field position. Perhaps if you did it deeper in your own territory, but the chances of picking up a 4th and 14, I don't know about that, Roll.
You're sure not going to catch the Cougar special team sleeping.
1st and 10 Canyon at midfield, moving left to right with 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Canyon on top 7-0. 2 receivers stacked to the near side, 1 to the far. Colbreth is to the right of Perez, who's out of the gun. Low snap, fake it to Colbreth, pump fake from Perez, still looking downfield, rolling to his right, heaves it, and that's just going to go out of bounds. Under pressure, ultimately in the end, provided by number 96, Mason Polaro.
Yeah, he was waiting for one of his receivers. He was looking in the direction of 2 receivers. Of course, Callan Farr and this receiver with his shoulder to us right now. What? But he
might be Lane Young.
I believe it was Lane Young. Yeah, just trying to wait for one of them to break free of their defender, and just didn't happen before he ran out of time.
Turn of the shoulders from Lane. It was him. Now to the shotgun, handoff to Colbreth, going to the left side again. Nice shimmy move across the 45 into Hornet territory, across the 35 now, dragging defenders with him to the 32-yard line. It's a good gain of 18.
Wow, amazing. A posable, bendable body there. Nathan Colbreth. He's moving his body and contorting it in all kind of directions.
Good gain there from Nathan. 1st and 10, Canyon moving left to right. Give it to Nathan again. Coming to the right side this time. Turns a corner at the 30. Spins his way across the 20-yard line and push forward. We'll go down at the 18-yard line, and that will end the first quarter. We played one here at Hornet Stadium. Our score, Canyon 7, East Central 0. We'll step aside. You're listening to Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
Tom Brady, that's a mic drop.
This is football, and this is how it is. Let's just get right to it.
Start your game day with Game Day Morning, football's first pregame show every Sunday.
Watch NFL Network, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 579. GVTC, just plain smart.
Welcome back to Hornets Stadium on the campus of East Central High School in San Antonio, Texas. As we have entered the second quarter of play, Canyon on top of East Central 7-0. With the ball moving right to left at the 18-yard line. It is first down and 10 after the Nathan Colbreth run, enough for a Cougar first down. Ball spotted on the far hash with one receiver to the near side, two to the far. Colbreth to the left of Perez. Straight sprint to the left as Perez gets a good block, turning upfield at the 15, starter step at the 10, and we'll be shy of the 10-yard line for Xavier Perez on a good run there. Gain of 5. Check that 7 down to the 11-yard line. It'll be second down and 3. Getting a play in from the sidelines is Xavier. Two receivers to the far sideline. Colbreth now to the right of Xavier. Gets a snap, fake it to Nathan. Back to pass on a play action. Nice route there by number 82, Lane Young at the 2. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Canyon. Little yo-yo route on the outside, running to the end and then reversing field back to the outside, and it's a good pitch and catch on the outside for a touchdown.
And I tell you what, here again, he wasn't going to be stopped. He knew where the pylon was, and Lane Young was just going for it. Great job that time by the 6-foot, 175-pound senior wide receiver.
Martinez on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Facundo, the kick is up through the uprights and good. 11:21 left to go in the second quarter. Canyon scores again. It's Cougars 14, Hornets 0. We'll step aside. You're listening to Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Just underway, second quarter, 11:21 left to go before halftime, and the Cougars strike again with a nice pass to wide receiver Lane Young. Deep in Hornets territory, took it over, found the pylon into the end zone for another Cougar touchdown.
Good drive there for Canyon, and a really good route there on the outside by Lane Young, and a nice play design altogether as Canyon now has the lead 14-0. Perry and Roseman are the return man for East Central down at their 2-yard line. Martinez to kick off. It's a short end-over-end kick taken by a nut man at the 25. On the far sideline, the Cougars are there to rally and push him out of bounds at the 32, and that's where East Central will take over, first and 10.
So the Cougars able to move the football into the end zone as we've have often referred to several times this season, and it looks good to see them finish actually some drives offensively.
A little bit of everything we've seen, running the football, good hard runs from Seth, and nice game here so far by Nathan Colbreth, the junior running back, and we've seen Xavier throw the ball well, Callan Farr multiple times, and now Lane Young to get into the end zone. We've seen it all, a little bit of everything from Canyon's offense. Defense doing a good job as well, having forced 2 punts and a turnover on downs. On first down, on an end around is Sturkelcheck trying to turn the corner at the 35. Unable to, as Zach Fansteel had good pursuit. I think they'll give Sturkelcheck out to the 36.
Nice run from his wide receiver position, but again, another heads-up play by Zach Fansteel.
Remark it to the 37, gain of 5, second and 5. 2 receivers to the far sideline, one of the near side receiver is Austin Traynor, as Latt is the running back to the right of Oglesby. Handoff to Latt, tries the left side, and Martin Davis is there to stuff him. Rolling. There was running room to the left and the right of Davis, who's fighting a blocker, and Martin Davis still manages to make the tackle.
Right, nothing going on in the middle of that line for the East Central Hornets. The Cougar defense just has it stuffed.
Third down opportunity for East Central. They are 0 for 3 in tonight's ball game. The Cougars pitching a shutout on that stat. 3rd and 5 here. Ball at the 37. 2 receivers to the near side for Oglesby, who takes the snap. Fake it to the running back. Here comes Eric Taylor. Oglesby avoids it, steps up into the pocket, delivers the ball, and that is incomplete, intended for Sturkelcheck, who had a step or two on Vance McKay, just couldn't get to the football.
Again, we're seeing the strength of that right arm from the young sophomore quarterback from East Central. As you were mentioning, just a little out of range of the intended receiver, Sturkelcheck.
And I'll tell you what I was impressed with the young man. Here comes Eric Taylor on the outside, and the awareness to see it and just step up into protection in the pocket.
Stepping up, yes, stepping away from getting sacked.
Sturkelcheck, after that deep route, has to go into deep punt formation, avoids the rush, and steps up and delivers a worm burner across the 20-yard line. That's picked up by Rivera, and Rivera's in trouble. He'll just go down inside the 15-yard line. Heads-up play there by Blade Sturkelcheck was under duress as the punter, but steps up and manages to get a beauty out of it.
I don't know if I've ever heard of a punt referred to as a worm burner. That was good.
That is what one of my drives on the golf course looks like. So I've been used to that phrase, just kind of low, and you just hope for a good roll. Ball spotted now at the 14-yard line. Not aesthetically pleasing, but does end up in a 49-yard punt with nothing on the return.
Yeah, it was effective. You got the Cougar offense pinned back inside the 20.
From the 14, now moving right to left are the Cougars. 10-13 left to go before the half, and Canyon is up 7-0. East Central will take their first timeout of the ball game, and right now, Roland, Canyon on their way to put together a nice ball game. We just talked about their offense, but how about the defense? You forced 3 punts and a turnover on downs that came via a fake punt that wasn't converted for a first down.
And how many times have we seen that front line in the East Central backfield? They've been, harassing the quarterback Oglesby for East Central and causing him to throw quickly, to have him throw off target. They've just been doing a good job of wreaking havoc there defensively.
We don't have the technology or the manpower to do defensive statistics, Roland, but I would venture to guess that at least every other play or every third play, the Cougars are bringing pressure with multiple different looks and multiple players coming in on blitzes defensively, and they're doing a good job of harassing the sophomore quarterback. Perez on 1st and 10 sends a man in motion that's far. Handoff is given to Seth Haney with a head of speed across the 15-yard line to the 20. Shoved out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. Should be just shy of the first down.
Yeah, nice heads-up running by Haney once again.
Good running to the near side. They'll spot it to the 21. It'll be a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. New play coming in from the sideline. Receiver on the near side is Lane Young. In the slot, Callan Farr on the far sideline. Handoff given to Haney with some running room across the middle. Spins out of a tackle at the 30 and falls forward to the 33. A big hole given by the offensive line, and Seth turns it into a first down.
I was going to say, hats off to that offensive line for creating a big hole that Seth Haney just went through, right side of that offensive line.
Trevor Hopkins, Jacob Solbrig, and Joseph Bustos the center. Handoff is given to Farr on an end around, trying to turn the corner. Got a good block by Seth across the 35-40. Couple of Hornets there to bring down Callan on an end around. Should be enough for a Cougar first down on a gain of 11.
He can do it all, and he sure is tonight.
To the 42 of East Central. Methodical drive showing promise here for Canyon. Started back at their 14, now up to their own 42 in a matter of plays. 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Canyon on top, 14-0. Fake it to Haney. Quick strike on a slant. Delivered and caught by Callan Farr. Now into Hornet territory at the 47-yard line. Enough for another Cougar first down.
Alan Dukes, the defensive back, putting a stop on Callan Farr that time. Welcome to the Callan Farr Show tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Callan Farr Show featuring Nathan Colbreth and Xavier Perez.
And how, yes indeed.
1st and 10 Canyon now into Hornet territory. Out of the gun, Xavier sends Owen Worley in motion right to left, given to Seth Haney, who lowers his shoulders, met at the line of scrimmage, and can't find a way to fight any further, maybe 1 yard to the 46.
Hey, here's a couple of second quarter scores to pass along to you. Steele on top of Wagner, 14-0 with 10:22 left in the second. And it's Judson on top of Smithson Valley, 17-13 with 10:09 left to go.
On second down and 9, handoff to Haney on the right side. Dragging defenders with them, shy of the 40. Tackle made by Mason Poyaro, the defensive tackle. Spotted to the 42, it'll be 3rd and 5. That Judson-Smithson Valley score sounds pretty good at 17-13. If you want to take a listen to that, our sister network, the Rangers Network, will have that game. Here at Hornets Stadium, they fake the handoff to Seth Haney, have a screen set up, give it back to Haney, who makes a grab at the 40. Now coming to the near side, 25-20, into the end zone, touchdown, Canyon. There is a flag down at the 32-yard line, so hold everything.
You know, we've seen Seth Haney do that a lot of times this season, and some great downfield blocking once again by that Canyon offense to kind of spring him and make sure he get that step or 2 steps on the defense to get into the end zone.
See what the indication is. The Cougars are making their way back towards the midfield marker, so that is not a good sign. Ineligible man downfield. And what that tells me is Seth Haney did not stay behind the line of scrimmage as he made that catch, and I think there's ample evidence to that. So good call there by the officials, although that did not go the Cougars' way. They'll mark off 5 yards there and take the score off the board. Had a good play drawn up. The blitz was coming from East Central, had a nice screen set up. I think this is something I don't see very often, Roland. It's a screen off play action as you faked it to the running back, Haney, and then you end up giving it to Haney on the other side of the screen.
That can be a very effective play, as we just saw right there. Unfortunately, we had the illegal man downfield, but very, very effective.
Colbreth is back in the ball game. Perez with the new play, so Colbreth will settle into the left of him. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. Perez with the ball, rolling here to the left side. Pocket starting to collapse. Perez still on his feet, making something of it. Fires downfield, in and out of the hands of Lane Young. Wow, Xavier Perez did his best just to stay on his feet, but it'll go for naught, and Canyon will be forced to punt for the first time this evening.
Yeah, Jacob Solberg back there with a couple of big blocks to free up Xavier and buy him a little more time. Unfortunately, that just went in and out of the hands of Lane Young.
Second period, 7:02 left. Canyon on top 14-0. Our first look at Jacob Martinez, who's averaging 35 yards a kick and has 13 inside the 20. Has another opportunity to add to that statistic. Rosemond is the return man. Perez with a high spiraling kick. It's a beauty. Turns over. Rosemond will take it. No fair catch given. Ball's out, and the Cougars have jumped on it. What a play defensively by Fabian Facundo. Presence of mind that fair catch was not signaled. Hits the return man, causes a fumble, and recovers the fumble.
Now, how do you not make a fair catch in a situation like that when you're hearing stuff coming at you?
Rosemond, the return man, is down and injured.
And we certainly hope he's not, this isn't a serious injury. But
well, more to your point here, Roland, the reason that the fair catch is in the game is to prevent the return man from something like this.
Absolutely.
Being hit when you're not expecting it. So definitely a teaching moment for Coach Joe Hubbard. Not only do you lose the football, but you're risking your safety. The fair catch is there for a reason. Martinez sends this one high, good hang time, turns the ball over, and because there's no rush, you know that the return man the coverage team for Canyon doesn't have to spend time in block protection on their punter. They have time to get down the field. That is textbook. You need to call for a fair catch, and the young man just didn't do it.
Absolutely, and for goodness sake, best to prevent an injury. He's, valuable to the squad, and what's more, just trying to prevent any kind of injury on the field whatsoever.
D'Angelo Rosemond is a young sophomore, 5'8", 150 pounds, on his feet and walking with a little assistance to the far sideline, so we hope that he is okay. back to play. The Cougars have the ball, first and goal at the 3. Handoff, Haney, right side. He's into the end zone now. Touchdown, Canyon.
You know it. That Seth Haney train just full steam ahead right there to get into the end zone. It's been a nice offensive show thus far in the first half for the Canyon Cougars.
Got to play on special teams and then turn it in for a touchdown. And Seth had that screen pass that he took in taken off the board, so nice to get him a touchdown there. For the extra point, Facundo will fake it, roll to the right, keeps his eyes downfield, throws it in the end zone, ball is deflected. And Fabian Facundo rolling, I just think didn't get a good handle of the snap, so he aborted it and tries to make something of it, and the pass fails. 6:46 left to go in the second quarter. We have a new score. It's Canyon 20, East Central 0. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Whether you're out at the beach or chilling poolside, the summer heat is here and Music Choice is turning it up. Chill out with the latest music from your favorite kids artists and more. Your music lives here on Music Choice.
Hey guys, it's Sophia Carson here. Check out all of my music videos available on Music Choice On Demand. Available on GVTC. Just go to Free On Demand and select Music Choice.
6:46 left to go before halftime, and the end zone has been no stranger to the Canyon Cougars on the evening. A big touchdown run from Seth Haney. Extra point failed, but the Cougars up on the East Central Hornets, 20-0.
That is Haney's 4th touchdown of the year, 2nd by way of running. He has 2 receiving on the year. Ball is a high-spinning kick by Martinez, taken by an up man at the 30-yard line, and the Cougars are there to rally. Roland, I see about 8 different Cougars there on kickoff coverage making the tackle. They'll skip forward progress, I think, to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 upcoming for East Central.
Well, as you were talking about in the Smithson Valley game, no less or no fewer highlights that you saw from the special teams. Canyon last week, and we're seeing another example of it out here tonight. Great special team play by the Cougar special teams.
Had a punt that was blocked and recovered for a touchdown, had a 42-yard field goal by Jacob Martinez, and a fake punt that was converted for a first down. On first down for East Central, handoff to Sturkelcheck on an end around, coming across the right side into Cougar territory now across the 40 and 30. Sturkelcheck across the 10. Did he get pushed out of the end zone? I think he did. What a play by Fabian Facundo to make sure that Blade Sturkelcheck did not get in. They'll spot him at the 2-yard line. Now the referee is calling for assistance. He has the ball marked at the 2, but now he's talking to the official on the far sideline. Tough angle for us in the booth to determine whether or not Sturkelcheck did get into the end zone.
I don't think he did. I think Fabian pushed him out, like you were saying, about at the 2-yard line, but I think they're going to check this out. Apparently there is a timeout of some sort on the field.
The Washington Bear, Austin Milam, tells me Sturkelcheck was out of bounds as East Central will take their 2nd timeout. So kind of get lulled to sleep a little bit by the great offensive play and special teams play by Canyon. And here comes Blade Sturkelcheck, the 5'10", 160-pound receiver who does a little bit of everything for East Central, and he burns you on the end around. Sturkelcheck 12 carries for 134 yards and a touchdown on the year. Also has 11 catches out of the backfield for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. Not a lot of offensive output by this East Central team, but majority of it does come from Sturkelcheck. New running back in, that's Damian Quick, a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds, lines up as Oglesby is under center. We have a fullback in, Jordan Shedrock. Handoff is to, was that to Quick or to Shedrock? I think it was to Shedrock, the fullback, who gets down to the 1-yard line. Shedrock is 6 foot, 255 pounds, unable to break the goal line.
Yeah, it's a load, so, hats off to the Cougar defense for the stop.
Need to pinch down here. Oglesby under center, I formation. You don't hear that called very often in high school football. Shedrock again, the fullback. Quick, the tailback. Handoff again. Shedrock, who tries to muscle his way forward with 255 pounds behind him. And he does get into the end zone. Touchdown, East Central.
Well, that second time, he wasn't going to be denied.
They have him listed as a defensive lineman, so, of course, there is celebration on the other side of the sidelines, not only for the touchdown, but not every day you see somebody wearing the number 99 taking a handoff in.
Another refrigerator.
Jordan Shedrod takes that in from 1 yard out. And on to attempt the extra point is number 50, Jonathan Garcia. Out of the hold of Strikelcheck. Toe poke from Garcia. It is up, and it is good. 5:51 left to go before the half. East Central has responded. Canyon 20, East Central 7. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
.551 left to go before halftime, and the East Central Hornets have an answer. Following a huge run from their wide receiver Blade Strikelcheck. Big touchdown plunge. A time from Jordan Shedrock, the senior defensive lineman, playing in a fullback position. Extra point good, 20-7. The Canyon Cougars with the lead.
Garcia with the ball teed up for East Central. A high spinning kick taken by Canyon at the 25-yard line. Coming to the near side with some running room across the 30 and the 35. Still on his feet, trucking people. What a run by Dallin Watanabe. Close to midfield. Actually, I think he does get into Hornet territory. What a run by Dallin.
Here again, another gold star and A+ for that special teams play of the Canyon Cougars. Getting it done now on a kickoff return.
They will put the ball at midfield. So not quite yet into Hornet territory. Good hard run there by Dallin on the kickoff return. Still some work to do here for Canyon offensively. 1st and 10 from midfield on the near hash. Xavier with the clap of the hands puts some movement across the line, and it'll be a false start against Canyon, even though there was plenty of movement on East Central's front.
Yeah, it looked like number 99 there on the defense jumped. That of course, the man who scored the touchdown, Shedrock. But, yeah, I think he was drawn off sides by one of the offensive linemen of Canyon.
1st and 15 now. Ball moved back into Cougar territory at the 45. Send a man in motion. It's far. They give it to him from left to right. Trying to turn their corner. Puts a head down across midfield. Bowling forward. Hard run there by Callan on the far sideline. Should be a gain of 8.
Yeah, he got back to the original line of scrimmage and just a little bit more. Once again, some great blocking on the left side that time of that offensive line.
Into Hornet territory at the 48-yard line. Be 2nd down and 8. Lane Young here on the near sideline, the outside receiver. In the slot is Callan. Man in motion is Worley from right to left. They sprint out Perez to the left. Heaves the ball downfield, has a man open. It's Lane Young with the grab inside the 15-yard line. Oh, he dropped it going to the floor. Lane, I thought he had it at the 15-yard line, but at the last second, the ball squirted out as he was going down to the ground.
Second drop for Lane this evening. You got to just pull that football in.
You hear the phrase having to complete the catch through the process of going to the ground. I think Lane had it and just couldn't secure it after he hit the ground. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 after the incompletion. Cougars 1 for 3 on 3rd downs. Again, send Callan in motion. Sprint out Perez to the left side. Delivers a strike to Lane Young, atoning for the drop. Hit him between the 8 and the 2. Secures it and has enough for a Cougar 1st down at the 38.
He heard me that time. He knew what to do. He just kept his eyes on the ball. He knew he'd bounce back. Good catch there, Lane Young.
1st and 10, Canyon. at the Hornet 38-yard line. Ball still on the near hash. Last two plays, they've elected to roll Xavier out of the pocket, and he's made some pretty good balls. On 1st and 10, handoff is to Colbreth, up the middle. Spins out of a tackle at the 35. How did he do that? What a magician. Across the 30 to the 28, another Cougar first down.
They had Nathan Colbreth stop at the 35-yard line. How he managed to get out of that and across the 30, wow. What a night running the football.
I don't want to go overboard here, Roland, but how about this? Reminds me of a young Barry Sanders, the way he runs and the way he's shifty with his feet.
Absolutely. I was trying to think of who he reminded me of, but yeah, I think it's a good analogy.
Zone read keeper by Xavier, trying to make something work at it, trying left, right, and finally just going up the middle. Minimal gain there, maybe 2 to the 25.
7 carries on the evening, 76 yards for Nathan Colbreth and a touchdown.
Good to see him in replace of Owen Worley, who's kind of been an unsung hero, had a great first half of the season, and now he's found a role in that H-back position being the lead blocker. Worley in motion from left to right. They give it to Colbreth, tries the right side at the 25-yard line, slips out of a tackle and is near the out-of-bounds line on the far sideline, actually spins his way into a tackler. They'll give him forward progress to the 23.
But he could have been stopped for no gain. That's just, once again, him keeping those legs moving and slipping out of tackles.
The young junior, will see him next year along with Owen Worley and Seth Haney. So this backfield next year as seniors is going to be something.
Coach Muchagamba's got to be loving it. Got to be loving it.
Xavier Perez, also a junior, on the far hash. Play action, rolling to the left, fires it to the corner of the end zone for Callan Farr. Ball is incomplete. Hand fighting with the defender, Uriah New. Ball will go incomplete. And a 4th down. Jacob Martinez will be trotted out to kick this field goal. Spot of the tee would indicate a 40-yarder. He made a 42-yarder that just crossed the crossbar last week versus Smithson Valley. Out of the hold of Facundo from the far hash. Snap back, hold down, kick up. It is catapulted through.
That's pretty.
And good.
I didn't want to say anything. I was afraid I was going to jinx him, but that, 40 is academic for that young man.
Of course, last week was a stiff win for those that were in the greater San Antonio area. Cold front moved in, so wind was playing a factor in that 42-yarder, but that ball was catapulted off of the leg of Jordan Martinez from 40 yards out. That gives us a new score of Canyon 23 and East Central 3 with 3:03 left to go in the second quarter. Roland, let's keep it here. Nathan Colbreth has been a welcome addition. Early in this year, we talked about the possibility of having a trio of running backs, and Xavier Perez, a quarterback, Seth Haney, and Owen Worley. And now we have Nathan Colbreth that we've added to that as we've moved Owen to be principally in the offense as a blocker.
And, having another year of experience under their belt, like we were saying, next season, it's got to be a treat for Coach Joe Muchagamba to have players like that coming back. And as you mentioned, Xavier as well. Callan Farr will be returning.
An 8-play drive for the Cougars ends in a 40-yard field goal by Martinez. Martinez with the ball teed up. It's a high, short kick caught by an up man. Again, not calling fair catches, drilled by 2 Cougars at the 28-yard line. You could hear the reaction from the fans. That is Taylor Neal, the up man, who is the nail to the proverbial hammer.
Martin Davis came over and just head on, boom, just a great special teams play.
1st and 10 East Central at the 29. And now under 3 minutes before the half. Canyon on top, 23-7. Really only one big play for East Central. That was an end around from Blade Sturkelcheck, the Z receiver, who took it down on a gain of 48 to set up their lone touchdown. Oglesby is still the quarterback. Sturkelcheck in motion from left to right. They give it to him. Now pitch it back to a receiver on a reverse. The receiver will throw it. That was Adrian Zapata, and that ball comes incomplete as he tries to throw back to the quarterback, Oglesby.
Yeah, tried what looked like the old double reverse there. I think they just handed it off to Zapata, who was rolling to the near side trying to find an open receiver, as you were mentioning, in the quarterback Oglesby, and just didn't work out. Once again, good pressure from the Canyon defense.
Forcing that errant throw earlier than Zapata wanted. A good pursuit by the Cougar defense sets up 2nd down and 10 from the Hornet 29. Moving left to right. High snap. Oglesby has it. Delivers to the receiver on the near side on a slant. That's Trainer. Trainer has it into Cougar territory now at the 49.
As you were mentioning, a Trainer, young man who also sees some time at quarterback for the East Central offense. Sometimes when you get to play quarterback, it can make you a better receiver.
The young junior has the ball into Cougar territory at the 49. The Hornets are getting a new play from the offensive coaching staff on the far side. Oglesby will be in a pistol look with Damian Quick, the sophomore running back, behind him. Slap of the hands, fake it to Quick, and it'll be a curl route to the outside. Ball's caught by Neal. Neal trying to make men miss, but can't. The Cougars are there to corral him, so they'll stop forward progress at the 43.
Big hit by Vance McKay to stop his forward progress, among other Cougar defenders.
2 minutes left in the second quarter. Canyon on top, 23-7. East Central moving here after the gain of 6. Sets up 2nd down and 4. 2 receivers to the near side. Oglesby giving instructions to Quick, the running back, who moves from left to right. Sturkelcheck now in motion from left to right. They fake it to him. Oglesby will keep, goes up the middle. Eric Taylor makes initial contact at the line of scrimmage and then falls down forward with him to the 41.
Heads-up play to fake the Sturkelcheck that time, because that's how they got burnt last time on the big run. And keep it himself. He did pick up positive yardage.
3rd down opportunity for the Cougar defense. They've been perfect tonight, holding East Central to 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. This one more manageable at 3rd and 2. Quick to the left of Oglesby. Some movement on that East Central line, and the flags come out. They'll knock him back 5 yards for a illegal procedure. So what was more manageable at 3rd and 2, Roland, now becomes a bigger hill for East Central to climb, now 3rd and 7. Need to get to the Cougar 39-yard line for a 1st down. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. New running back checks in for Quick. That is Frank Latt. We haven't seen Latt on a couple of possessions. On 3rd and 7, Cougars showing blitz. Here they come. Fake it to Lott. The pocket collapses. Oglesby steps up, makes a man miss at the 35 and is brought down. That is Martin Davis with a 1st down saving tackle at the 37-yard line.
You can get a couple of yards, but you're not going to get the 1st down. Great to heads-up play that time by Martin Davis.
East Central will call their last time out of the half with 20 seconds left, and Roland, that was my mistake on the call. I thought he shook Martin Davis out of the tackle, but that was not to be. Martin Davis with a good tackle there.
Absolutely. Good heads-up play. And we've seen that from him all season. He's done a great job in that linebacker position for the Cougar defense, and just more accolades to him. During this timeout, if we could, here's some halftime scores to pass along as we're 20 seconds away at this point. Halftime score from New Braunfels, Texas. It's the Clemens Buffalo 0, the New Braunfels Unicorns 0.
Wow.
So scoreless at halftime there. It's a steal on top of Wagner. 2:23 left to go in the second quarter there. 24-6 steal over Wagner. And this score in with 22 seconds left in the second quarter, right before halftime. It's Judson 20, Smithson Valley 20.
Wow. So 2 tie ball games in what we've deemed as Judgment Day in district, with Judson and Smithson Valley and New Braunfels and Clemens, 4 of the 5 teams battling for 4 playoff spots.
Judgment. We should have had some sound effects music. Dun-dun-dun, something.
The teams come out for the 4th down play, and Canyon doesn't like what they see defensively, so Joe Muchagimba will call timeout. But again, as we look at this district, and a tough district as it is, listen to the teams 5 teams battling for 4 spots, and you have Judson, who's undefeated. Clemens and Smithson Valley both at 4-1. New Braunfels and Steele both at 3-2. What's up for stake? Well, New Braunfels can't end up tying Steele, as Steele holds the tiebreaker there. Judson undefeated. They seem to be clear no matter how the pieces fall. And Smithson Valley can't end up tied with Clemens at the bottom because the Buffaloes hold the tiebreaker there. The Unicorns looking to have a leg up on the Buffaloes, and it's just kind of do-si-doing around to see who's going to be odd man out at the end of musical chairs.
Yeah, you know, you've got to have a college degree to be able to sometimes figure out the playoff scenarios. I've noticed in district. But it's always fun.
Back on the field, 4th and 3 for East Central. Out of the gun, they fake it to Light. Here come the Cougars. Oglesby lets it go downfield, and that ball is incomplete, intended for Trainer. In coverage, step for step, was Cooper Holm.
Yeah, he just launched it out there because pressure was coming once again. I guess just hoping that the receiver would adjust and run toward the football. It was not to be.
Good friend of mine, Paul Alexander, likes to say, throw it up and hope somebody runs under it. And that was not meant to be for Oglesby, but that's a good life lesson to live by anyways, a life motto.
The coach himself, Paul Alexander.
Throw it up, hope somebody runs under. 1st and 10, Canyon. They get the ball back at the 42. Their own 42, moving right to left. Xavier will take the snap with 13 seconds, put a knee down, and that will end our half. Good half of football here played by the Canyon Cougars. It's been complete. Defensively, they played well. Offensively, played well. And the special teams has contributed points and some big plays as well. Our score at the break, it's Canyon 23, East Central 7. When we come back, halftime coverage from Hornet Stadium on the campus of East Central High School. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Get closer to the action like never before with NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. At the track.
Looks like Superman won.
In the shop.
Catching up with Joey Logano.
On the headsets and behind the scenes.
Every night, the place to be.
All season long.
Hear the story from the drivers who lived it.
That's how tough the track was to drive.
And get the ultimate setup from the legends of the sport.
You can't script it. There's certain things out of your control.
NASCAR Race Hub. All season long on FS1.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you alongside Austin Mapache Milam, our spotter statistician. Our score at the break, it's Canyon 23, East Central 7. Roland, we finally get it in Week 10, the first really complete half we've seen from the Canyon Cougars this year.
But this will be good heading into next week. Of course, it's going to be a difficult contest next week. However, with this one, you're able to put the ball into the end zone. You're able to finish your drives, complete them, and put together what appears, at least at halftime, to look like a complete game.
And our score at the break, it's Canyon 23 and East Central 7. Here on the Cougars Network, we like to highlight all the things that are going on here at Canyon High School. Of course, you get Canyon football every Friday night here, and one of the showcases we like to show is the Cougar Marching Band, along with their color guard, the Twirlers as well, and the Aristocat dance team. So we'll step aside here on our coverage of this ball game between Canyon and East Central for the sounds of the Cougar Marching Band.
Canyon High School is proud to present the 2017 edition of the 14-time national champion Canyon High School Aristocats. The Aristocats are under the direction of Taylor Goodman, assisted by Terry Brown. The social officers are Cassandra Buglaisis, Ava Ferguson, Aubrey Campbell, and the head social officer is Cassidy Frost. The dance officers are Junior Lieutenants Kelsey Gomez and Grace Warren, Senior Lieutenants Bailey Brooke, Shelby McGrath, and Madison Noble. First Lieutenant Talia Lopez, and the Aristocat Captain is Alyssa LeBron. The Aristocat of the Week is Emily Gabler-Reski. Now sit back and relax as the Aristocats perform an entertaining calm routine to Happy Together.
Once again, the fine renderings of the Canyon High School Band. The Marching Cougars, what a great job they do week in and week out. Proud to have them here on the Cougars Network. Our halftime score once again, Canyon on top of East Central 23-7. We'll be right back with more halftime activities, and we'll see what's happening with Emily on this week's version of the Cougar Challenge. That's just minutes away. This is Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
Do you know what's perfect? Wick Productions teaming up with the Canyon Cougars. No kidding. We take pause when we hear you cheer for replays on the scoreboard. And we love the feline we get when you visit cougarsnetwork.com. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Meow. Isn't that right? What? Cat got your tongue? I mew it.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Uh-oh. Sorry?
Watch FX, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 527. GVTC, just plain smart.
Once again, halftime here from the campus of East Central High School in Southeast Bexar County, where our score is the Canyon Cougars on top of the East Central Hornets by a score of 23-7 at halftime. And you know, Emily has got the guys set for another edition of the Cougars Challenge, and we need to see what happens this week. So without much further ado, Emily, take this away and show us what's happening. Would you do that?
So welcome back to another episode of Cougars Challenge. So we got some different guys in the chairs today, as you may notice. We've wrangled in some coaches. So guys, can you introduce yourself, please?
Coach JJ Sierra.
Coach Trenton Kirkland.
Coach Tony Sledge.
So men, y'all ready to do this?
Absolutely. Yes, let's go get it.
Let's do this. So our first question today might take you back a few years. In the children's song, Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, how many times does the song say shoulders? Coach Sledge?
7.
Sorry, not right.
Better safe than sorry.
Feel free to sing it out loud.
I don't know it. I'm not on that level yet. I don't know.
You got the little kids, you know it.
Yeah, he's got the child.
Coach Sierra?
4.
Oh, you were close. Still no. Coach Kirkland?
I'm going to go in between. Let's go 5.
No. The correct answer is actually 3. Do any of you know the song?
No.
I do.
No.
Let's see if we can do it together.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Okay.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and lips and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Reminiscent song.
3 times.
Yeah.
3 times. Good job. So although we are all with a -1, we're ready for the next question. Why did pirates wear earrings? Coach Kirkland.
Because they had their own swagger.
That's a good try, but sadly the answer is no.
It's close.
Anyone else?
I have no clue.
No clue.
No, do not know.
Well, you might as well take a guess because you're both in the negatives. Coach Sledge?
To use as an emergency fishing lure.
That is also a very good try, but wrong. Coach Sierra?
You gotta hit your button.
Oh. There you go. Just to keep tally of all the treasure they were finding?
That's also a very good try. The actual correct answer is it was believed that it would actually improve their eyesight because the precious metal was magical.
Interesting.
Very
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, he gets some earrings now, I guess.
Does anyone know why they wore eye patches?
I do not.
Coach Kirkland?
Too many sword fights.
That's close, but no. They actually, I'll give you a hint, still had 2 eyes. Any other guess?
No clue.
Coach Sierra?
You can see better out of one when one's covered?
Oh, you're warm. You're warm. Coach Sledge?
To look through the whatever
Telescope?
it's called. Telescope.
That was also a good try. Actually, pirates wore an eye patch on one eye in case they had to go and raid down below to another pirate ship, that their eye was adjusted to darkness. So they had one always ready for the light and one always ready for dark. They were pretty smart, weren't they?
Brilliant.
Yeah, there you go. So the next question, I'm going to make it a little easier on you. Multiple choice. When the school started, who actually picked red and white as the Cougar school colors? A, the school superintendent, B, an internet vote, or C, the senior students? Coach Sledge.
C, senior students.
Very good job.
It's not fair. I'm a new guy. It's not fair.
Well, it wasn't internet.
There was no internet. I kind of threw that one.
50-50,
Yeah,
okay.
it was you.
All right.
So today's super hard question is, who can spell Coach Muchagumba's last name? I think I'm going to have to go with Coach Sierra on that one.
Moczygemba.
Coach?
That's it, Coach Sierra. Nice job, baby.
That was good. That was good. I'll give him props.
I could have done it.
At least we all ring it.
That's true.
So right now we have a two-part question. This could be worth 2 points for someone or break a tie. The question is, who played in the first Super Bowl? Coach Sledge.
Packers and Colts.
I'm sorry, that is not correct. Who hit it last?
It was JJ. I gotta be honest. Here. If I didn't get it, I
Coach
gotcha.
Sierra? Who was it?
The Packers and the Raiders.
Sorry, that is incorrect as well. Coach Kirkland, you can tie it up.
And the Cowboys.
Oh no, I am sorry guys.
Had to go
The
with my star.
correct answer is Green Bay and Kansas City. And that year, Green Bay was the winner. Good try, guys.
That's about right.
And so even though today we're all kind of in the negatives, I have to say, coaches, y'all were such great sports. Thanks for doing this. Y'all all get a t-shirt.
Close again.
Coach Brant, back to you.
Go Cougs!
Cougars Network is your home for Canyon High School athletic coverage. Don't miss live game broadcasts, weekly coaches shows, stories from inside the field house, and more. Log on to CougarsNetwork.com to stay up to date on everything from the Den to the Red Zone. Welcome to Cougars Network.
Stream live episodes of your favorite shows on the Food Network app. Download the app and watch the latest shows for free.
Who's got it?
The chance to become a Food Network star.
Well, you know I gotta check it out.
Because you're in control.
Let's get these baskets open. Whose dish is on the chopping block?
Your shows.
Well done.
When and where you want them.
It's a life lesson. I'm putting your creative intelligence to the test today.
Wow.
Action.
Stream now on your favorite devices.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
The all-new Nissan and New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. the all-new Nissan and New Braunfels. You've got to see this place.
Well, I don't think so.
It's a good deal, right?
Coach, this is a 2538, 37 horsepower, most lift capacity of any tractor in its class, and no depth fluid.
Well, the best part is it's the right color.
Once again, halftime on the campus of East Central High School in southeast Bexar County with our score, the Canyon Cougars on top of the East Central Hornets by a score of 23-7. And Ben, some interesting numbers to look at from that first half.
Take a look at halftime statistics. Roland, the Cougars in that first half, 218 yards of total offense, 85 through the air, and 133 on the ground. They are led in the rushing department by Nathan Colbreth with 8 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown. That touchdown came from 18 yards away. And nice 1-2 punch developing with Seth Haney as well, 7 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown. He is averaging just under 5 yards per carry. Through the air, Xavier Perez, 9 of 13, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interception. His leading receiver by way of receptions is Callan Farr, 5 catches, 42 yards. Lane Young has added 2 catches for 28 yards and a touchdown. The other side of the football for East Central, 143 yards of total offense in that first half, 41 through the air, 102 yards by rushing. Of those 102, 69 came from Blade Sturkelcheck on the end around that got them into the 2-yard line that was eventually punched in for a touchdown. That was a run by Jordan Shedrock, 2 carries, 2 yards, and a touchdown for the big defensive tackle who doubles as the fullback. Charles Oglesby, the quarterback for East Central, 5 of 13, 41 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. His leading receiver is Austin Trainer, 1 catch for 22 yards. So those are some halftime statistics. The one that matters the most is on the scoreboard, Roland, and that's Canyon on top, 23-7.
Absolutely. And as we near the start of the second half kickoff, pass along some halftime and early third quarter scores from around the district, affectionately referred to as Judgment Day 2017.
Coined the term.
Absolutely. It's still halftime. Out in Converse, it's the Smithson Valley Rangers and the Judson Rockets, all tied at 20. Still at halftime, Steele on top of Wagner by a score of 24-6. Early third quarter score, the Clemens Buffaloes lead the New Braunfels Unicorns by a score of 3-0.
Scores from around the area and a lot of interesting things about here in District 27-6A. Well, the Canyon Cougars are about to enter Hornet Stadium for the start of the second half, as are the East Central Hornets. So we'll step aside here on our halftime coverage. Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz, the Bandit Austin Milam, alongside you on the first Friday in November. We thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. You're listening to Canyon Football across the Cougars Network.
We help mutants endangered. You're with us now.
If you missed an episode of The Gifted, watch anytime. It's the show critics are calling chills-inducing. Promises to be one of the best Marvel TV series.
These people need help.
The Gifted is all new Monday on Fox, or watch anytime on demand or Fox Now.
The wait is over. Chip and Joe are back with more Fixer Upper. I love you.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Here we go. You slayed it.
Whoa!
You killed it.
This is amazing.
Yes!
Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart.
Where Zaxby's is from, everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And now you'll like it even more because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Welcome back to Hornets Stadium. Third quarter about to begin. East Central will kick off, going right to left as Jonathan Garcia has the ball teed up. Watanabe and, it's a quick kick that goes to 10 yards on an onside. I had my head down. Forgive me for that. It's recovered by East Central. Ivan Chavira, the senior wide receiver, comes up. Onside kick goes in favor of East Central to start the third quarter.
Well, a little trickery on the half of the Hornets. Catch you by surprise out of the box here for the first play of the second half, and they'll have the football to start things.
I couldn't tell who was in deep receiving for Canyon, so I looked down at my 2 deep, and I look up, and all of a sudden, number 10 for East Central has the ball. But a first down and 10 for East Central, again moving right to left to start this third quarter. Ball placed at the Cougar 44-yard line. 2 receivers to the far sideline, 1 to the near. Oglesby out of the gun with Latt to his left. Bat to pass. Oglesby under pressure and into the arms of Eric Taylor, who sacks him into Hornet territory at the 49.
Well, Oglesby waited just a little bit too long. Here comes Eric Taylor making the big stop defensively. We've seen that so many times this season.
Untouched from the blind side since East Central behind the chains. Now second down and 16 from their own 49. 2 receivers to the near side. Latt again to the left of Oglesby. Taylor showing blitz, and here they come. Quick pass from Oglesby to the far sideline, in and out of the hands of Sturkelcheck, who could not complete the catch. It'll be third down and long.
Yeah, it's obvious Oglesby's apparently hearing those footsteps coming and wanting to get rid of the football very quickly. In some cases too quickly, as he's not targeting his receivers right on.
Eric Taylor has not had his hand in the dirt. He's been on 2 feet showing blitz. He'll put a 3-point stance down for this one. It'd be third and 16 for Oglesby and East Central. From their own 49, 3 receivers to the near side. Ball on the far hash. Handoff up the middle to Latt, who makes the man miss at midfield. Across the 40 before being met by a couple of Cougars. Now all but 1 Cougar is in on it, as Latt's dragging players forward across the 40 to the 38-yard line. Good hard run. In fact, the Cougars have the ball at the end of it, but the referees will indicate that forward progress was stopped. Josh Heiser comes out of the pile with the ball, but it will be fourth down. You got to think, Roland, the way things are going, this is fourth down territory.
Oh, yeah. You go for it at this point. That's exactly what East Central is going to do.
A nice hard run there on 3rd and 16 to set up 4th and 4.
Fourth down, Hornets.
From the Canyon 38-yard line. Line to get is the 34. Oglesby back to pass. Quick pass. Taylor's there and sacks him for a loss. What a play by Eric Taylor.
Eric Taylor, 2 big defensive plays that series. None bigger than that one, stopping the quarterback Oglesby once again, this time on a 4th down play.
James Perez also there, the defensive tackle. And Roland, after the onside kick, your defense needs to make a stand. You get a big sack from Eric Taylor to start that possession behind the chains. And then when they make it 4th and manageable, here comes Eric once again to shut the door on East Central. Canyon will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 45, moving left to right. That was the 3rd turnover on downs for East Central in this ballgame. 10-19 as we begin the third quarter. Canyon on top 23-7. Coach Muchigimba doesn't like what he sees. We'll call a timeout. And Canyon will retreat to have a conversation with Coach. And Coach Trenton Kirkland, a young offensive coordinator brought in from Taylor to retune this Cougar offense. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but Roland, when it's working, and we're finally seeing this Cougar offense start to put some things together, and you see what they could do.
That's right. They've got the rhythm down, the momentum. They're just, you hate to use cliches, but clicking on all cylinders right now.
Cliches are all I got, Roland. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the club.
That's right. crutches, if you will. First and 10 Canyon as they break out of the huddle from the sideline. Their own 45, trips receivers to the near side, 2 to the far. Perez alone in the backfield. Takes a low snap, delivers a curl route to the near side. It's Callan Farr, unable to shake free of the initial defender. Got a good block, though, from Isaiah Scott. Across midfield into Hornet territory at the 48. Good gain of 7.
Picking up where he left off in that first half. Little quick outs to Callan Farr for positive yardage.
Again, empty backfield for Perez. He'll take it on a design quarterback keeper up the middle. Minimum gain maybe 1, and it'll be 3rd and short. Now move the ball to the 47. The Cougars back up to the line. They'll send Colbreth in the backfield now with Perez. 2 receivers to the near side are Scott and Farr in the slot. Cougars 2 for 5 on 3rd downs tonight. Pump fake, delivered. Ball in and out of the hands of Isaiah Scott on a little curl pattern. It'll be 4th and 2. And we'll see what Canyon elects to do. I think they're going to send in Jacob Martinez in the punt team.
Yet another one that this time hits Scott right in the hands. You just got to pull it in. Of course, easier said than done. It's easier to say that from up here in the booth and not have a defender all over me.
3 and out for the Cougars to start the 3rd quarter as Jacob Martinez in the punt. No return man in the backfield for East Central, so another opportunity for Jacob to put this inside the 20. High snap to him, gets it down, high end over end kick. It's a good one. It'll bounce at the 15-yard line and take a hard Hornet bounce into the end zone. And even though it went backwards, technically a Cougar bounce, but that did go into the end zone, so more so in favor of East Central. So without a return man, East Central comes up with decent field position anyways. They'll get it 1st and 10 from the 20.
Well, both teams getting their feet wet here with the first offensive drives of the second half. But what a showing by that Canyon defense. I mean, on that first offensive drive of East Central's. Man, what a showing.
Well, they really stepped up and answered the call there. And the offense gave the ball back to the offense with good field position. Offense just went 3 and out. So East Central will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. Oglesby back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff given to Latt. He'll go to the right side of the offensive line, shaking tackles at the 30, across the 35-40. And finally is brought down. It's a good gain on 1st down and a fresh set of downs for East Central, though Latt slow to get up at the end of the play.
Yeah, Fansteel tried to slow him down. Eventually, Wantana will be coming over to make the stop on the big East Central running back, but not before he picks up a 1st down.
Latt will check out. The new running back in for East Central is Michael Stevens, 6'1", 195-pound junior. Settles in to the left of Oglesby. Sending man in motion from right to left. That's Casas. Back to pass Oglesby. Little slant route, incomplete as the receiver could not haul it in. That was Zapata. Be incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that time Zapata trying to come back. It was like throw behind him a bit, trying to come back and haul that in. Just didn't work. Talking about Lott, 9 carries thus far in the evening for 48 yards for the Big East Central, I guess, fullback.
2nd down and 10. Illegal procedure penalty upcoming as one of the linemen moved. Flag quick to come out.
Well, so, actually, they got him listed as a running back. I don't want to give him titles. He's
well, Roland, he's 50 pounds away from their defensive end who lined up as a fullback earlier at 225 pounds.
There you go. He looks like a fullback, if nothing else.
Comes into this ball game with 63 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown for 2017. On a 2nd down and 15, Oglesby's back to pass, under pressure, fires over the middle, ball's caught. Cooper Home in coverage. Actually, the ball, they're going to call it a catch. It looked like the ball came out. Trainer makes the catch. Actually, they're going to rule it incomplete. The far side receiver marked it a catch, but the umpire runs in to say incomplete. So good play by Cooper Home on the outside, Roland, making sure that the ball is dislodged.
Yeah, another young man who's had a good game, Cooper Home. Heads up play from his defensive back position.
Would have been 3rd and manageable. Instead, it is 3rd and 15 from the 35-yard line. Need to get to midfield for the first down. 8:22 left to go, third period. Canyon on top, 23-7. East Central with the ball, moving left to right. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Casas in motion from left to right. Oglesby back to pass. Out route to the outside is caught by Taylor Neal's, going to be shy of the 40-yard line, well short of the first down, only gain of 2.
Yeah, it looks like that punt team is coming in. Last time, or one of the fewer times, we saw them try a trick play off of a punt. See what kind of formation they're setting up in right now. This looks a little more traditional.
Rivera in deep receiving at his own 30. Sturkelcheck has his feet at the 26. Low snap, gathers it, rolls to the right. Rugby-style end-over-end punt taken by Rivera on a run. Across midfield, now into Hornet territory. A big collision on the far sideline. Gets to the 46. It's a good return by Isaiah Rivera.
Sure was, and once again, Canyon will have good field position starting in East Central territory, as we're now just under 8 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Punt of about 25. 35, check that, and 16 on the return. First and 10 Canyon, moving left to right from the 45. Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Handoff Colbreth. Across the 45, met by a couple of Hornets, shy of the 40 to the 41. Good gain on first down from Nathan.
Yeah, getting up from the bottom of that pile for East Central, that was the defensive lineman Jordan Shedrock making the stop on Nathan Colbreth.
Far side receivers, there's two of them. Lane Young on the outside. In the slot is Callan Farr. Facundo, the lone receiver, to the near side. Worley, the H-back. Colbreth behind Perez. Give it to Colbreth. Tries the left side. Not much there. Across the 40. Flung forward to the 39. Good tackle there defensively for East Central. Sebastian Rodriguez amongst others.
Yeah, Mason Poyaro also coming over to make a stop from his defensive line position for East Central. Keying on Colbreth a little bit that time. Still good numbers, 10 carries, 84 yards thus far on the evening for Nathan.
Josh Heiser is checking in here for a jumbo package look. He'll be one of the fullbacks out of the diamond set. Handoff. Colbreth, right side on fourth down, makes a man miss at the 35, and he's off to the races. Across the 20, 15, brought down from behind inside the 10-yard line. Right a run on fourth down.
He found the move again. Nathan Colbreth to shake the defense free, and he was just a couple of steps away from pay dirt. Great job running the football. Now well over 100 yards running the football this evening for Nathan.
My mistake, that was third down. I got a little ahead of myself there with the jumbo package. That was brought in. It's first look at this. Kind of a diamond set. Handoff given to Worley, who's now in the backfield. Tries the right side of the Cougar line across the 10, the 5. Josh Heiser leading the way as his lead blocker on the offensive side of the football now.
Yeah, it's good to see Owen Worley get a carry or two. Make his presence felt out there on the gridiron.
Kyle Collier also in there to block. Handoff Worley once again. Right side once again, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown Canyon. Rolling Josh Heiser and Kyle Collier in there for the lead blocks, and they paved the way for Owen Worley.
And I tell you, you're talking about Kaiser, 5'9", 215 pounds. That's some blocking to reckon with, I tell you what.
Martinez on to attempt the extra point. Snap down, kick up, on the way, and that kick is good. 6:03 left to go in the third quarter. Our new score, Canyon 30, East Central 7. We'll step aside. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Did you ever play Tetris as a kid?
Yes, I did.
Watch out.
I couldn't find a chain for you guys, but I got my necklace from the car.
It's starting to feel like a home. Welcome to your new house.
Oh, my gosh.
I cannot believe they turned that into a house.
Watch FYI, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 132. GVTC, just plain smart.
6:03 left to go here in the third quarter, and the Canyon Cougars find the end zone again. I do like that running back package they put in there, including Josh Heiser back there.
I just don't know what to call it. I've seen this in other offenses, call it the diamond look, where you have the quarterback and then a running back behind him, and then to the left and right of the quarterback are a couple of running backs. And in this case, you have converted linebackers and defensive tackles, nonetheless doing the same work as any blocking fullback would. And it gets Owen Worley into the end zone from 4 yards out after a 5-play, 45-yard drive that took 1:56 off the clock. And our new score, Canyon 30, East Central 7. Martinez with the ball teed up. A high, short, end-over-end kick. Perry will take it at his own 7-yard line, cutting back to the far sideline across the 15. Initial contact made at the 20. Perry still on his feet. And finally brought down. A couple of Cougars there in on special teams. They'll give him to the 21, and that's where East Central will take over. Well, since that scoring drive for East Central back in the second quarter, their last 3 drives have been turnover on downs, and punts. So after giving up the 7, Canyon's defense has been barreling down on East Central, and in some cases even pushing them backwards. East Central moving right to left. Oglesby back out as quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 21, ball on the far hash. Cougars showing blitz. Handoff to Latt up the middle. Takes a couple of Cougars with them to the 25. Antonio De Leon and J.C. Robledo making contact.
Yeah, that lot is a load to bring down there. I don't have his height or weight, but certainly looks like he may be 200 and change.
Keep going. Hand off the lot at the 25. He's out in the open now. Across midfield, tackled from behind. Good effort by Fabian Facundo, but not before Latt gets into Cougar territory. They'll spot him at the 42 on a big gain.
Yeah, he found that hole and was able to get loose and pick up some big yardage. A good touchdown-saving tackle that time by Facundo.
32 on the gain by Latt, who is 5'10", 225. So, Roland, you might have been closest without going over.
Well, see, that's me and the Price is Right.
That's
We're good.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Snap gets behind Oglesby. He'll have to just slide to get to the ball and jumps on it, retaining possession. But the ball will go back into Hornet territory and be spotted at the 46. So that's a big loss there.
Oh, that took them back
of
quite
12.
a ways. Yeah, they got to get to just shy of the 30 for a first down.
2nd and 22 for East Central. It's an offense that has struggled all night. Handoff to Latt. He'll try the left side. The Cougars are there. Tackle made by Cole Seeley coming in off the edge. Minimum gain, maybe 2 to the 47.
While we have a moment, Judgment Day 2017 in the district. Clemens on top of New Braunfels 3-0 as the fourth quarter gets underway there. Steele leads Wagner 24-6 with 4:31 left to go in the third quarter. And they're still knotted up in the Converse 2020. Judson and Smithson Valley, 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Canyon on top here, 30-7. Oglesby, another bad snap, gathers it as it was low, goes down the seam to Sturkle, check off of his fingertips and incomplete. In coverage for Canyon, Vance McKay.
Vance McKay back there, Josh Van Steel back there. Catchable ball that time, but just didn't bring it in.
Blade circle check, unable to get it in, and we've seen this before. He runs a very deep route and now has to run back, not only into formation but into deep punt as he serves as their punter. It'll be 4th and 20 for East Central as Rivera stands at his own 20-yard line to receive this punt. Snap back to Sturklecheck, rugby style to the right side, gets it. It's a high end-over-end wobbly kick. Rivera calls for a fair catch but lets it bounce. And I think it was touched by an East Central defender, and so they'll, even though the ball was down at the 18, they'll move it back to the 24. Dangerous play there. Rivera calling for the fair catch, running to the ball, and deciding to let it bounce. Weird bounce of the football. Luckily bounced it into an East Central defender, so crisis averted. I'm a special teams guy, Roland. You know, little things like that always.
You got it. See, you've lived the life. You have walked in those moccasins. Absolutely.
Canyon takes over 1st and 10 from the 24. Perez gives the ball to Dallin Watanabe. Check that on an end around. That's not Watanabe. That's Chisholm. Chisholm coming across midfield at the 40. Flag down. 30. 20. He'll race into the end zone. Touchdown Canyon, but we'll check the flag.
Yeah, I think this one's coming back.
Marcel Chisholm, 5'10", 165-pound senior, goes into the end zone from, that would have been 76 yards. But I don't think it's meant to be.
But once again, you know, great blocks being thrown by that offensive line of Canyon. They've done a great job. Yeah, looks like a chop block. Chop block's what it was called. So, yeah, this one will be coming back.
Boy, and that's a attention to detail type of call. Unable to go low on a defender while he's engaged with another blocker. If that is indeed the call. Again, we're on the visitor side, so the referee's not going to be looking at us to make the call. He's going to be looking to the home side press box. Just the way things are set up here at East Central, a nice stadium and wonderful location. It's, as Roland was mentioning, southeast Bexar County, southeast San Antonio, that area. Nice road trip for us to make. Come out here. 15-yard penalty assessed. I still haven't gotten an indication from the white hat, but the Washington Bear does tell me it is a chop block indication, so Canyon will take over, or will keep the ball. Now 1st and is it 20 is the question. Yes.
Yeah, they got to get to like the 33, and they're about the 13.
Handoff to Haney, coming to the near side across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Good game there by Seth. It'll be 2nd down.
Right now it's just ball control. You know, you got to eat that clock. Nice lead. Just control that football and eat that clock.
I guess my mistake was it wasn't a 15-yard penalty, Roland. It was a 10-yard penalty, so it was 1st and 20. Now gain of 3 makes it 2nd down and 17. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Haney to the left of Perez. They'll sprint Xavier to the left, looking downfield, heaves it down the far sideline. Nobody there. In fact, the only person there is Evian Thompson, the defender. Ball goes incomplete as he's overshot everybody, 3rd and long.
Yeah, it might have been a blown assignment that time by one of the receivers.
Isaiah Rivera checks out. Fabian Facundo checks in for Canyon. Far side receiver is Lane Young. The near side slot is actually, they're trying to, where are they going to put Chisel? Is it near side or far side? It's far side slot to the left. Ball on the far hash. Haney to the right of Xavier. Clap of the hand. Xavier gets it rolling right. He's going to look for Facundo. Fires it on a deep out. What a route by Fabian, who catches it. Enough for a Cougar 1st down at the 37.
Oh, that young man is gold. That young man is gold. Right where he needed to be. Uh-oh.
Some pushing and shoving. Flag is down on the far sideline at the 25. East Central coaches are in to get their players back. An East Central player doesn't have his helmet and is talking very emotionally with a coach on the far sideline. That is Mason Alvarado, the junior linebacker. Coach Joe Hubbard is talking with the near side official on the sideline. He wants an explanation. There's a flag down, as we mentioned, so Coach Hubbard is actually holding his player's helmet. That player Alvarado. So something went down over there on the far sideline away from the play. Roland, there's 2 flags down.
Well, at this time, you know, it's got to be frustrating. I'm going to assume this one's on East Central. We'll see what the call is. They're offsetting?
I see one indication of unsportsmanlike conduct against Canyon. My mistake, there were 3 flags down there, so. And the player's ejected. So we don't know who that is. And we don't know where the penalty is going to be marked off at.
Looks like it's going to be
it might
marked
be
off from the end of the catch.
It might be Jacob Solbrig, the right tackle, who has been ejected from the ball game as he's coming down to the sideline to get handshakes and good games from some people on from other Cougars on the sideline. The question is it after the play? Because the pass to Facundo had enough for a first down. And unfortunately, Roland, I think this is going to wipe out the first down altogether.
Wow. Yeah, it is.
The Cougars
backing
are
it up from the line of scrimmage.
And what a shame, too. It was a great concept to have a lot of people on the far sideline and make a 1-2 pass game between Xavier and Facundo here on the near side. And Fabian ran a great route. Xavier threw a great ball. And they got themselves out of a 3rd and 17 and got enough for a first down.
Well, I had mistakenly assumed that was on the East Central player because, as you were mentioning, he was very, very animated on the far side of the field from our vantage point.
So it'll be 3rd down and long from the 11. Got to get to the 34. Perez rolls to the right again, looking again for Facundo. Fires the ball down the sideline, intended for Chisel, who came out of the backfield. That ball is incomplete. Fabian actually ran a post route there and had a step on his man. Xavier just couldn't deliver it to him. And Canyon will line up to punt the ball away. Under 2 minutes here, the third quarter. Canyon with a 30-7 lead. And Martinez will settle inside his own end zone. In the E and Hornets. Return man is Thompson, standing at midfield. Martinez sends a high spiraling kick that does turn over, drives Thompson back to the 40, and he muffs the football, gathers it at the 35, and the Cougars are there.
Special teams to the rescue again. What a punt. What recovery by the Cougar special team. Wow.
I think Cole Seeley was in on the tackle, and Roland, I cannot stress enough the importance of having a ball from a punter that can spiral and turn over. It adds another 10 or so yards on the punt. It'll be a punt of 51 and negative yards on the return.
I tell you, I was praising Fansteel earlier in the game, which I think is well deserved. Another player who deserves accolades at the end of the season has definitely got to be Jacob Martinez. What a season he's had.
It's fun to watch him kick a football, and another sophomore contributing on the varsity level. We'll have him back next year. Hand off to Latt, goes up the middle, breaking tackles across the 45 into Cougar territory now with one man to beat. Facundo trying to get a good angle on him across the 20, the 15. McKay trying to push him out of bounds and is unable to. 5 into the end zone, touchdown.
Wow.
Facundo had a good angle and almost had enough to push him out. McKay was there as well, just couldn't do it. And Roland, we mentioned the size, 5'10", 225 pounds. That's a lot of beef to get pushed out of bounds, and Canyon just unable to do it there.
It really is. I mean, he's fast enough. I mean, not blazing speed. They certainly caught up to him, but like you said, it's his size that is another big asset for him.
Garcia on to attempt the extra point, and that kick is good. 1:30 left to go in the third quarter, and East Central has responded. Our new score, Canyon 30, East Central 14. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Well, I don't think so.
It's a good deal, right?
Coach, this is a 2538, 37 horsepower, most lift capacity of any tractor in its class, and no depth fluid.
Well, the best part is it's the right color.
Minute 30 left to go in the third quarter here from East Central High School. And, oh, my goodness, another big run for the big fullback. That, of course, being Frank Lott.
Came into this ball game, 63 carries, 153 yards, and a touchdown. So he's adding to his total from for this week. It was a one-play, 64-yard touchdown drive.
64 yards on that.
Enough to get into the end zone as Garcia sends this high kick to the near end zone, goes out of bounds. So another onside kick opportunity. And flag comes out for illegal procedure as the kickoff goes out of bounds. So Canyon will get it in great field position. I actually think they'll decline the penalty and just take it at the 49.
And why not? Great field position. You can need some more time off that clock. Speaking of, we'll look around the district right now. A couple of scores to pass along. 5:25 left to go in the ball game. New Braunfels now on top of Clemens, 7-3. That one's been a tight one. And the Smithson Valley Rangers on top of Judson, 27-20, just underway, fourth quarter.
Catch that game on the Rangers Network, our sister station. Got a good one here for you as well. So stick around or look, you got options, and that's great here.
But we want you to stay here. This one's not over.
First and 10 Canyon into Hornet territory at the 41. Handoff to Colbreth, tries the left side, still on his feet across the 35-30. Shaken out of tackles inside to the 27-yard line. Good run by Nathan as we have a Hornet player down.
Wow.
On midfield, that is Jordan Shedrock, the defensive tackle, 6 foot, 255 pounds. Came in as a short yardage back and got a touchdown in the first half. He is resting on his back. Colbreth is a little shaken up as well after that big carry. It would have been a gain of about 19.
Good sign to see that young man back on his feet. I was concerned there for a minute he wasn't moving, so that's great to see.
And walking off to the sideline with no assistance. Colbreth will check out. Haney is back in. On a nice run by Nathan down to the 27.
184 yards on the ground tonight for Canyon. 92 yards in the air.
Handoff to Seth, right side, running room across the 25-20. Tripped up as he dives forward to the 17. That's a good run. Back to the line, the Cougars. First and 10, handoff to Haney from the 17 to the 15. That'll be a gain of 2.
Haney running the football, and once again that clock continues to run as they keep it on the ground.
Haney to the left of Xavier. Sends Callan Farr in motion, right to left. Give it to Farr, trying to turn the corner and get a block. Slips out of a tackle at the 18, still on his feet, finally pushed out of bounds. Good run by Callan, trying to string out the defense, though minimum gain there, maybe even a loss.
See where they spot that football. He might have lost a couple.
To the 17, which was the original line of scrimmage, so a loss of 2, 3rd and 10 for Canyon as we have a running clock under 20 seconds now. More time on the play clock than the game clock, so Canyon can run it out here. Now 7-6, Xavier with the ball. Looking on a short curl route. Pass is caught by Callan, and Callan has fumbled the football inside the 10-yard line, and East Central has it. Landon Byers jumps on the loose football inside the 10-yard line, and East Central will have it after the fumble. That ends now the third quarter of play. 3 complete here at East Central High School. Our score, Canyon 30, East Central 14. You're listening to Canyon Football on the Cougars Network.
Texas Flip and Move is ready to roll.
I could not be more excited about this.
Who'll be the Lone Star State's big flipper? Each team buys low and sells high.
The bigger the risk,
the bigger the reward. Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9, only on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, with the Governor Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. Fourth quarter about to begin here at Hornet Stadium. Canyon on top, 30-14, but the Cougars on their last drive for the second time tonight have fumbled the football, and East Central has it 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line, moving left to right. Oglesby fumbles the snap on the quarterback-running back exchange. Oglesby able to jump back on it at the 5-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4, and 2nd down and 14 upcoming. The lone back behind Oglesby is Latt. 2 receivers to the short side of the field, which is the far side, and 2 receivers here to the near. Sturkle check in motion. They fake it to him. Oglesby keeps up the middle. The Cougars are there as Oglesby has to dive forward, maybe 2 yards to the 7, and that's it.
And they're getting back to the line of scrimmage awful quickly, so it'll bring up a 3rd down for the Hornets.
The lead for Canyon is 16. So that, by definition, is 2 possessions if you could score 2 touchdowns and get 2 two-point conversions. So
still not over.
It's definitely not over. Signs of life here from East Central. Design quarterback sneak for Oglesby, and he is tackled by Martin Davis before he could get upfield to the 10. Maybe 1 yard there for the quarterback.
And here comes the punting unit on once again. You know, plenty of time left to go in the ball game, 10 minutes and change. And as you were mentioning, still not out of reach yet.
There is some wind here at Hornet Stadium, and it is to the back of Blade Sturkelcheck, who is in his own end zone about a yard deep. Snap back to him, rugby style to the right side. High spiraling kick, doesn't turn over, and Rivera calls for a fair catch. Makes it at the Hornet 48-yard line. So about a punt of 37 and nothing on the return. And Canyon will get the ball 1st and 10 there.
Yeah, it'll be in Cougar territory, actually, with the football. So that'll be good. Now the trick here, as we've been mentioning, keep it on the ground, try to eat that clock. Of course, you're going to have to pick up 1st downs along the way, however.
10:06 left in the ball game. Canyon on top, 30-14.
Hey, it's a nail biter right now in New Braunfels as Clemens scored a touchdown to take a 10-7 lead. 5 minutes left in that ball game.
Back and forth they go. In motion, Callan Farr from left to right. Fake it to him, give it to Colbreth up the middle, making men miss across the 45, shy of the 40. Another good run by Nathan, shy of a Cougar 1st down.
Good offensive philosophy. Keep it on the ground, pound it out. Pick up a second, get into second in short situations, and milk that clock.
Callan again in motion left to right. Give it again to Nathan with some running room on the right side. Runs into a pile of defenders, but I think he has enough for a Cougar 1st down to the 38-yard line. Yes, he does.
Yeah, it looked like his forward progress got him there, so good ball control.
Nathan came into this ball game 28 carries, 97 yards. Did not see much use of him early on in the year, but we have since seen him on the past couple of weeks contribute to this Cougar offense, and in a big way tonight.
Rockets red glare in Converse as they've come back to score a touchdown and tie Smithson Valley. It's 27-all with 9 minutes and change left to go in the ball game.
On 1st and 10, handoff to Colbreth on the right side, cuts up field at the 35. Ball came out. And ball's on the ground. We'll see how they sort this out. Official comes in to indicate that Canyon got back on the football. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. As for the 3rd time tonight, Canyon puts the ball on the ground. This time, luckily, they did not turn the ball over.
Yeah, Canyon has turned the ball over 3 times tonight. East Central's dropped it a couple of times, but have retained possession.
Spot the ball to the 34 and need to get to the 28. So it'll be 2nd down and 6. 2 receivers to the near side. Fake it on a zone read. Perez will keep it across the 30-25. Shoestring tackle as he was trying to break towards open field. Gets down to the 22 and a Cougar 1st down.
Xavier's best run of the night. The thing is, he put it right into the running backs, right into his arms, pulled it out, and right when the defense committed, That's what opened up the door for Xavier Pettis right there. Great run for the quarterback.
Zone read read perfectly by Xavier. Get upfield for a Cougar first down at the 22. Moving right to left. Now under 8 minutes to go in this ball game. Hand off to Colbreth, coming to the left side. Cuts upfield at the 20-yard line. Still keeping his feet going across the 15. 3 or 4 Hornets have to bring him down. But Nathan gets to the 14 on a good play on first down.
Sebastian Rodriguez, the junior defensive back, along with Keeson King, the junior linebacker, bringing down Nathan that time. The clock continues to run. 7.5 left in the ball game.
2nd down and 8. And something the Cougar offense is not accustomed to. That's slowing the ball down. 2nd down and 2, handoff to Farr on an end around, and Farr lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Dives forward and actually will have enough for a Cougar first down. The last effort at the last minute by Callan on the dive forward got him enough for a Cougar first down, as there's another injured Hornet.
Looks like another injured East Central Hornet on the field.
Easily the game of the year for Nathan Colbreth. Again, he came into this ball game 28 carries for 97 yards, and tonight Roland 16 carries, 153 yards. That's just shy of 10 yards a carry and a touchdown.
He has been poetry in motion out there running that football this evening. He really has. It's you compared him to a young Barry Sanders, and I can see why with some of those moves this evening.
Okay, how about this? Frank Latt, the other running back for East Central, perhaps a smaller version, a younger version of Jerome Bettis, the bust, the way he's been running the football.
I'll take that.
13 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown for him. So didn't really think it would come into a dueling running back battle, but that's what's broken out here at East Central High School, as the Hornet who was injured on the play is able to get up and walk to the sideline unassisted, so that's a good sign for him. 7-11 left in the ball game. After the delay, Canyon will have the ball 1st and 10 from the 12. Ball on the far hash. Slot receiver on the far side is Callan Farr, and Isaiah Scott's on the outside. Near side receiver is Lane Young. Colbreth is in to the left of Perez, takes a handoff, tries the right side, and trying to turn the corner and just unable to do so. East Central was there defensively, no gain on the play.
I tell you, it's and the clock continues to run, and that's exactly what Canyon wanted.
No sense of urgency from the offense as they are on the field and just staring to the near sideline for a play from Trenton Kirkland, the offensive coordinator. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Colbreth to the left. Fake it to Colbreth. Xavier looking to pass. He's in trouble and is dropped for a sack. Good defensive pressure there brought by Michael Brown as Joe Hubbard rushes in to call timeout and stop the clock at 6:10.
As you're mentioning, 16-point differential right now with 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. Very doable. Now the East Central offense does have to get clicking. However, it's momentum is a strange thing and can show up at the craziest times.
We've seen Jacob Martinez already hit from 40 yards tonight. So if nothing else happens, Roland, this would be a 35-yard attempt, well within his range. He's kicked the ball well tonight. Again, 16-point difference. It is technically 2 possessions, but you would need 2 touchdowns and 2 extra two-point conversions in order to get the 16. So even a field goal at this point extends the lead to 3 possessions. Right. And I think that's what Joe Hubbard is looking at. Any type of loss we could get, let's stop the clock and let's try to get after them on 3rd and long.
Yeah, well, it's a 3rd down play. Well within Martinez's range.
Need to get to the 2 for a first down. And the ball is spotted at the 18-yard line. So 3rd down and 16 for Canyon. Between the hashes. Play action. Ball's delivered down the seam, and that's just over Owen Worley. They faked it to Colbreth and had Orley out of the backfield ball's delivered, and I don't know if Worley was expecting that or not.
Oh, the ball was there. I tell you, it from our vantage point.
Might have heard footsteps as well.
And those footsteps can be rough, let me tell you. So, all right, Martinez on to try a field goal. This will be from a 35-yard attempt.
Between the hashes, Martinez to make it a 3-possession ball game. Out of the hold of Facundo. Hold down, kick up, on the way. That ball is good. Jacob Martinez good from 35. And Canyon extends their lead. Our new score, Canyon 33, East Central 14. We'll step aside. You're listening to Cougars football on the Cougars Network.
The wait is over. Chip and Joe are back with more Fixer Upper.
I love you.
You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. You slayed it.
Whoa!
You killed it.
This is amazing.
Yes!
Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart.
5:56 left to go in tonight's ball game, and I guess high school football's version of Mr. Automatic, if you will. Jacob Martinez on the field, hits a 35-yard field goal, extends the lead to 19 as the Cougars now lead East Central 33-14.
Makes them 6 for 8 on the year. Had a 42-yarder last week versus Smithson Valley. Adds a 40 and a 35-yard to that. So he's had 3 field goals this year over 40 yards. A valuable weapon he has been, and he's punted the ball well as well for Canyon. And he has the ball teed up. It's a short end-over-end kick. Upman will take it this time with a fair catch at the 32-yard line made by Taylor Neal. And Roland, live and learn. Last time that happened, Neal did not signal for a fair catch.
Absolutely.
And was obliterated, and this time he does, and we'll have it 1st and 10 with no pain down at the 32.
Yeah, sometimes that's what it takes to learn a lesson. Apparently he did there.
East Central will spot the ball here to the near hash at the 32. 5:56 left to go in this ball game. Canyon has just extended their lead, 33-14. Damian Quick is the running back to the right of Oglesby. High snap, and Oglesby is off target with the pass to Austin Traynor on the near side, obviously affected by the bad snap.
Yeah, it looked like he rushed that once again.
Well, the Cougar defense is hounding down on these short routes, so you could imagine bad snap to the quarterback, and he's trying to get it out quickly, and he's just unable to make the read. We have a new quarterback checking in as Charles Oglesby, the sophomore, checks out. Blake Casey, the senior, 6'1", 175 pounds, will be the new quarterback for East Central. Casey with a slap of the hands, fakes it to Quick. It's a flare route to the far side. A bubble route is incomplete. Actually, it's going to be Roland ruled a catch because it's a backwards pass. So the ball bounces, skips up to the receiver, and technically it's a fumble because that goes.
Yeah, it was behind the line of scrimmage. I take it.
Wow. Works out in the end for East Central. It ends up being a gain of 4.
There you go.
3rd and 6 to the 35-yard line. Strukelcheck in motion from left to right. He'll get it on an end around, and Eric Taylor's in pursuit. Watch out. Oh, Eric Taylor, that's a beautiful play defensively. Drags him down to the 28-yard line. Roland, he had to get off of his defender and then go make the play.
You know, you can't say enough good things about Eric Taylor either. What a season that young man has had. That time, they weren't letting Strukelcheck get away like he did that big run earlier in the ball game.
More impressive, Roland, as he came off the ball, his engagement with the blocker is what blew up the play to begin with, and then he had to disassociate, get to the outside to make the tackle. All in all, good play there by Eric Taylor. On 4th down, the Cougars will take a timeout as they didn't like that formation on the punt team. So 5:05 left to go in the ball game. Canyon on top, 33-14.
Well, we'll check around the district on this Judgment Day 2017. Clemens now out on top of New Braunfels, 17-7. That's with just over 2.5 minutes left to go in that ball game. 31-14, Steele leads Wagner with just over 4.5 minutes left to go in that. And the Judson Rockets have taken the lead, 34-27 with 4:30 left to go in that ball game over the Smithson Valley Rangers.
Well, both Comal County schools that you mentioned had leads in that ball game. New Braunfels over Clemens and Smithson Valley over Judson. But we have seen those two teams start to slip behind a little bit as we get later and later into these ball games. So time running out there in those ball games, time running out here as well. 5:05 left to go. Sterkelcheck in deep punt for East Central. Sends this one high into the sky. Bounces at the 35-yard line and takes a huge Hornet bounce inside the 15, still rolling to the 10 before being down. That's a great punt there by Blade to flip the field on Canyon, and the Cougars will take over after a 61-yard punt, nothing on the return.
And just under 5 minutes left to go in this one. A game that is seen Canyon just, I'd almost stop short of saying almost error-free football. I mean, and the errors haven't really hurt them too much this evening.
Been pretty clean played, offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game as well. Marcel Chisel is the running back to the left of Xavier, who takes it, hands it to Chisel, right side, lowers his shoulder as he comes across the line of scrimmage to the 10. Into a pack of Hornets. They'll give him forward progress to the 13.
Keeping it on the ground to eat that clock. 4.5 minutes left to go in the ball game this evening. 353 total yards for Canyon against 283 for East Central.
Great offensive showing for Canyon here in Week 10. They are taking their time getting in the play from the near sideline. Perez has it. Handoff to Chisel, coming back to the near side. Some running room across the 15, turns upfield, flag comes in. Across the 20, we'll check it. It's going to be shy. Actually has enough for a first down, depending on the flag.
See if we can determine.
Referee still talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to go against East Central, though, and that will be the problem. Is I think this should send the Cougars back. We'll just wait for the official call. 4:01 left in this ball game.
And that is the case.
Holding is the indication. Half the distance puts the ball back at the 7. So second down and 13 from the 7-yard line. Line to gains the 20. Two receivers stacked on the left and two receivers stacked to the right. Perez will take it. Back to pass. Flushing out to his right. Under pressure. Delivers the ball. It's a strike and ball's caught to the 19-yard line as the receiver is flipped on his side. That is number 87, Connor Holt.
Well, I see Connor Holt get into the action.
Going to be shy by a yard as there is a timeout on the field. So, Roland, we'll keep it here. You've been mentioning all these district games, and need to remind everybody, Judson sits atop District 27-6A with a 5-0 mark, followed by both Clemens and Smithson Valley with 4-1 records in district. Clemens holding the tiebreaker there. Then comes Steele and New Braunfels, both at 3-2, with Steele holding the tiebreaker against New Braunfels.
Well, we're going to be able to sort things out here. I know a little bit on the postgame show. Got a couple of finals to pass along. Steele defeats Wagner 31-14, and a final from New Braunfels. It was the Clemens Buffaloes over the New Braunfels Unicorns by a final score of 17-7. A minute 36 left to go in Converse. That ball game once again tied 34-34 between Judson and Smithson Valley.
So the Buffaloes improved to 5-1 in district. Steele improves to 4-2. The Unicorns drop to 3-3, and I think it's just going to come down to the last week. I mean, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I do have a correction. Apparently, I misquoted here. Hate to make boo-boos. No, they did correct it. Here it is, a minute 34. They're tied.
There's their boo-boo.
Come on, you. Don't do this to me. Make an announcer look like fool. He can do that well enough himself.
James Perez checks in, the tight end position. Extra beef for this blocking package on 3rd and 1. Handoff to Haney. Right side has a Cougar first down across the 25 and still going. To the 29-yard line. Takes 3 or 4 Hornets to bring him down. Good hard run by Seth.
And Haney, you can always count on him for those couple of tough yards. And he breaks them just as often as he gets those couple of tough yards. So nice night for Seth. I will have to check on his numbers here momentarily.
1st and 10 Canyon. Handoff. Chisel coming to the near side across the 30, still on his feet. Brought down shy of the 35-yard line. Making the tackle for East Central is Jordan Garcia, the senior linebacker.
And the clock does continue to run now, under 3 minutes left to go in this one. And it's almost safe to say, by all indications, Canyon's going to put another one in the W column and take that with them next week when they take on the Judson Rockets, who, by the way, still struggling tonight against Smithson Valley.
2nd down and 4, 2.5 left in this ball game. Canyon on top, 33-14. Handoff to Chisel, right side. Got some good blocking there. Turns up the field, and he fumbles the football. And I think East Central has jumped on it. And, boy, this has been the bugaboo for Canyon tonight. Another ball put on the ground, and this will be the 3rd fumble given away for Canyon tonight. Roland, we've been praising this offense, the defense, the special teams, saying it's almost a complete game.
Almost error-free, right.
Almost error-free, but 3 fumbles tonight. That's still things to work on for Coach Joe Muchigimba and his staff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can't you do that against Judson, they're going to take advantage of the miscues. It's just that simple.
1st and 10 East Central, moving left to right at Cougar territory. The 44-yard line. Blake Casey in, our new quarterback for East Central. Slap of the hands, play action, back to pass, steps up, fires it, looking for Trainer on the far sideline, incomplete, overshot him. Stops the clock with 2:01. Another thing you want to tell Chisel is, here we're trying to run out the clock here in this ball game. You give the ball back to a team down 3 possessions, they're going to throw the ball around, and that's going to stop the clock.
And that'll stop the clock, yeah, on a complete pass, yes.
Casey barking out orders to his offensive line, has 3 receivers to his right. Running back shifts over to his left. Handoff is given to the back. Comes back to the near side to the 45-yard line, so no gain there. From the running back, Ivan Chavira. Now under a minute 40. Hornets facing a 3rd and 10. Play comes in to Casey. Slap of the hands, has it. Fakes the handoff. Quick throw to the far side, and Trainer wasn't even looking for it.
That's it. He had him if he would have just turned around and looked for the football.
I think either way, if it's a miscommunication from Casey, Trainer had the room to score. But if it was a bad route by Trainer, if he runs the right route, a slant perhaps, I think he has an inside step there to get at least enough for a first down. As it is incomplete, sets up 4th and 10 and a stop clock at 1:22. Play clock down to 8, 7, 6. Casey has it, settled in, takes a snap. Play action once again, looking down the seam for Sturkelcheck, and he overshot him again. So 3 passes for Casey on this drive and 3 overshoots of the receiver. And the ball will go over on downs back to the Canyon Cougars.
And right now, a minute 13 left on the clock. they could run it out. I don't know how many timeouts each team has, but
East Central is down to 1 timeout. Canyon has 2.
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine with 3 possessions that if you take a kneel here that Joe Hubbard would use a timeout. Canyon could just ice the game. They don't come out into that formation. Perez will take it at the 40. Out of the shotgun, handoff to Colbreth. Why not? He's trying to turn up field, and finally, at the end of the night, East Central is able to shut Colbreth down for a loss. Tackle made by Justin Cortez, the defensive end, and that'll be for a loss of 1.
150-plus yards on the night for Nathan Colbreth, and he certainly has put on a show running the football for us this evening. And tip the hat to Seth Haney as well. 11 carries, 64 yards, just another typical night at the office for Seth.
Wonderful 1-2 punch in the backfield for Canyon. As we are now approaching under 40 seconds. Handoff to Colbreth, still dancing as he's trying to find a lane as he is thrown back by Isaiah Johnson, the defensive lineman. They say ball came out, but they're going to spot Colbreth down at the 44-yard line. Clock continues to go at 20 seconds, and that should end tonight's ball game. Trenton Kirkland still signaling plays. I guess he doesn't like ending on misses or two plays that have gone for loss. So Canyon back up with 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2. Here comes a snap, and it's a zone read fake. Perez will run to the right side across the 45, start and stop across midfield now into Hornet territory, and finally get shoved out of bounds. So that would end tonight's ball game. Our final score, Canyon 33, East Central 14. Step aside. Post-game's coverage is coming up on the Cougars Network.
The all-new Nissan and New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
Ben Campos, Roland Ruiz with you, with Austin Batcray-Milam, our spotter statistician, Bo Wick, the executive producer. We have entered our post-game show. Canyon with the win tonight on the road versus East Central with a score of 33 to 14. Roland, I always heard this from coaching staff. It's easier to get your attention of your players after a loss. You know, they come in on Saturday after a loss. It's easy to be critical while watching film to help correct things. For the Canyon Cougars, got a good win tonight, 33 to 14, but still a lot of things that need to grab the attention of the coaching staff and the players as well. While dominated on both sides of the football, still a lot of mistakes made out there and things that need to be corrected as we look next week towards the Judson Rockets. Absolutely.
And as you look at the season, Ben, a lot of those mistakes have been corrected to a certain extent. They've cut down on the penalties, the miscues, the fumbling the football this evening. Holding on to the football is something they're certainly going to have to correct. As we talked about, Judson is going to take advantage of that and probably use it for points. You know, they just know how to take advantage of miscues like that. However, that being said, to go into playing Judson on a win, on a high, with, confidence, and we've seen this from Canyon all season long. They're just that kind of a football team. They finally put it all together tonight and had a good, solid win despite the miscues.
Couple look at statistics before we end with some scores from around the area. Cougars tonight, 405 yards of total offense, 111 through the air, 294 on the ground. The numbers for Xavier Perez throwing the ball, 12 of 20, 111 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. What a game by Nathan Colbreth, 18 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown. And Seth Haney, 11 carries, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown as well. Through the air, the leading pass grabbers were Lane Young with 2 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown, and Callan Farr, 7 grabs for 57 yards and no touchdown. For East Central, it was 282 yards of total offense, 46 through the air, 236 on the ground, and we must give props to Frank Lott, who had an effective day running the football. 13 carries, 150 yards, and a touchdown. Those are some statistics from tonight's ballgame.
Great job once again. Hats off to the Cougars offensively, defensively, and those special teams. Some finals to pass along from district tonight. As we mentioned, it was Clemens over New Braunfels by a final score of 17-7. Steele defeated Wagner by a final score of 31-14 this evening. And we're going to overtime in Converse.
Wow.
Both teams tied at 34. That's how you'd write it up in Hollywood, just like that.
Well, here's what's at stake, Roland. Right now, if Smithson Valley loses this ball game, they will fall to 4-2 in district and be tied with Steele. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Next week, Smithson Valley will take on the New Braunfels Unicorns. At 4-2, Smithson Valley, New Braunfels 3-3. If the Unicorns upset Smithson Valley, both teams will be 4-3 at the bottom of where you need to be the cutoff to make the playoffs, and the Unicorns would have the tiebreaker against the Rangers. So still things to be played for and sorted out as we go into Week 11 of the high school football season. So catch that game in overtime on the Rangers Network, our sister station, as that game has gone into overtime. Here at East Central, our final score is Canyon 33, East Central 14. With the win, the Cougars have improved their record to 2-7 on the year overall, 2-4 in district play. With the loss, East Central falls to 0-6 in district, 0-9 overall. Taking a look at our broadcast schedule next week, we will be back at Cougar Stadium for the 2017 finale as the Canyon Cougars will welcome the Judson Rockets. Kickoff is set for 7:30. Pregame coverage will begin on the Cougars Network at 7:15. Once again, your final score, Canyon 33, East Central 14. Now from our broadcast partner this evening, Roland Ruiz. For the Washing Bear, Austin Milam, our spotter statistician. For our executive producer, Bo Wick. I am Ben Campos, wishing you a good night and a safe drive home from Hornets Stadium in San Antonio, Texas.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.